she's had strep, so she finally got
Ooh.
a stronger. She took a first round of antibiotics last week, and then Monday she's like, it's getting worse. After she was done with the antibiotics, so we took her to the Shannon took her to the immediate care center again. So they gave her a higher level of antibiotics, and I think she's starting to feel a little better now. But then she didn't go to work today. She's like, I just don't feel good. I was like, what do you got? Like the flu or something? She's like, yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not really sure. I'm like, man, all these sick people.
It's everywhere, man. All kinds of people are picking up stuff.
I know. I shouldn't say anything. Knock on wood, though. She always gets aggravated at me. She's like, you never get sick. And I'm like, my dad was the same way. I really don't understand why, but it is true, though.
Well, I rarely ever got sick as much either. In fact, I tested positive, but it took her like 3 or 4 days for her to test positive on it. So she took the test and it came up negative the first couple times. And then, but she was feeling like crap, but she was feeling crappy. And that's like, how can you have something else in the house and you're testing negative on this, but you know you have something? There's no way you can have like one can have the flu and one can have COVID or whatever. So finally it kicked in the third test that she had. It was like, I don't know what you were doing wrong in your test. She said that she was doing everything the same. So it's like, I don't know.
In fact, really, the last 2 times I've been sick was with COVID both times. It was the last 2 times I can remember being sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had stomach flu 3 weeks ago, and then I had the regular flu this last week. So that's been fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm catching all the flus.
Yeah,
COVID-free, but lots of flu.
Had to break out the old mask over the last week. I still kept my mask around, so I got different ones. So,
I saw them too.
She had COVID a month or so ago, so I had to wear my mask at work too, just because I was around her. Even though I didn't have it and I tested negative, I still had to wear it to work just to go to work. So I was like, shit, I had to break it out again. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I did a self-isolation and stuff. It's just like, now I'll be back out there again this weekend and it'll be like, start hearing people cough. It's like 6 feet, back up.
Yeah, right. No, you're too close.
If you cough within arm's reach, you're getting a throat punch. I'm just telling you.
Right.
There you go.
But cheers to everybody in the chat as well. Welcome. If it's your first time to the channel, you know what we do.
No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer. No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer.
That's right. And that's how we get down. Shout out to Vanessa in the house. Number one, as always. Ooh, look at that stylish glass there.
Ooh.
I should bring my glasses out, but I haven't done it. Oh, look at this. And a stylish shirt.
Look at that.
You got the shirt. Oh, shit. Look at that. The swag is in effect. Gotta love it.
You know.
And if you in the chat want to look at checking out the swag, make sure to check out the website. There's details in the description for that as well. And I'll actually throw a thing up here so you can check it out if you want to check the link there on the site too. So one is for glassware, one is for clothing and all kinds of different apparel. And it is still, I know it doesn't feel like it may be today where you're at, because I think we're like around 50 or 60, but it is still hoodie season. There are hoodies in the shop as well.
It was like 56 today, but it's been raining for like 2 days straight now. I'm like, what the world is going on? Now I need a boat to get around town.
You're right. That green does look good on you, though, by the way. I like that green color. Mm-hmm. That works well. Kind of a match for food groups. Cheers to Tater in the house. Cheers, Tater. Tater may have one of the coolest avatars, too, out there. I love the long hair, the look on the avatar there. If you see the picture, it's pretty cool. Cheers to Vanessa. And yours is too cool, too. I know that's your favorite gun, too, Vanessa. So I like yours as well. Emerson suffered out of time last week, ends up getting lit in my PVDs and chatting with Barney Miller. The one with Fish is acting the fool. Tropic Force 9.5 Voodoo. Let's go. All right, Emerson. I'm actually going to drink another Voodoo beer here in a second. I think I drank it 2 weeks ago. We were on here, but the review will be coming out next week on it. The latest in the Voodoo series. Hey, Vanessa. Getting sicker through the day. Just past kidney stones too. Oh wow, Vanessa.
Dang, that sucks.
No fun.
I've never had that actually happen to me. I've had a lot of friends that have had kidney
I
stones.
have, and it's
Either.
awful.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy that had a medicine bottle full of just stones that he's passed. I'm like, how is
Oh.
that even possible to pass that many stones in your lifetime?
Yeah.
Well,
no
one is how many did you pass them, but two, why do you have a bottle?
I know. And he was just collecting them. I'm like, are you looking to get some money out of them? I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing here with those, but he just carry them around like in his own, like, here, let me show you this. I'm like, okay, you win. I'll be on that one.
I think if I saw a guy that was walking around with a bottle of kidney stones,
Emotional dad.
that would really stick with me on
Yeah.
that, I think.
A
Right?
little bit.
Emerson said hello to
Oh,
Vanessa, hello to Emerson. And feel free to crack beers open when you're ready. I'm just going to hit the comments real quick and then we can talk about the beers too. Hi to Malvern, Vanessa. What's up, Brandon? Cheers.
Hi, Vanessa.
Brandon. Glad you. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it, JT. JT. Neither Liz nor I had COVID. We're very lucky. Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
I mean, this is my second time. What is it, 2024 now? So it came out with 2020. So 2 times in 4 years.
I've hit
Which-
3 now.
Yeah.
want
You
it
had 3.
anymore.
You had it 3 times? Oh, wow.
I've had it 3 times.
Wow.
I think I've only had it twice. I think Shannon's had it 3 times though.
I do
Which-
not recommend.
Surprising that,
By the way, having had it 3 times, my husband has also had it 3 times because you can't not. If one of us catches it, the other one catches it.
which
We're
that's
just stuck.
It's
not
yeah. Yeah.
that's weird with me because the last time she had it a month or so ago, it was like we slept in the same bed several
Yeah.
days before what it was like.
I know, right?
Feeling good, and all of a sudden she tested positive. I'm like, why does this not make this makes no sense? Like every time she's had it, I've not had it except for one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to isolate, and so the first night I actually slept in our other room where we have a
Mhm.
futon. Don't recommend futon sleeping on them anymore. That's something you definitely do as a teen or a young person.
20s, but not
Yeah.
so much now, right?
And not to mention if you're over the height of 5'9", because at 6'1", your feet are hanging off. So someone like Blue, I don't even know where Blue's like kneecaps probably be hanging off anything
Like,
now.
These
Tall as
things
he is.
shrink. What the hell's going
Yeah.
on here?
Yeah, Blue's
He
like
is.
6'4", 6'5". He's really tall.
Yeah, and it's like, and it was one you down. You put it down flat. Even though you can lay it down flat, you can't lay on the flat because there's like a thing in the back of it that holds the back part up. So it's like,
Yep.
so you only got half of that space anyway. And then the next night, I actually slept on a couch, which is a little bit better. But then when she ended up picking up, she's like, "Oh, you can sleep in the bed now since we both got it or whatever." Like she was hating the self-isolation stuff, but yeah.
No,
But it was just like, yeah. But yeah, futons. I don't think I've ever. I mean, as a kid growing up, futons, I feel like they came around like what, late 80s, 90s. So I mean, we had like sofa beds back in the day, and I think futons emerged sometime in like that between that time. So I never really had like a futon anywhere I was actually at. Later on, I started seeing them pop up, kind of like I was at the age of the sofa bed and the wicker chairs. You remember the old wicker chairs back in
Oh,
the
Oh,
day?
yeah.
Like,
goodness.
yeah.
Wait, the Papazon ones, where it was a big bowl?
Big bowl, yeah. You had a bowl, you had the big wicker, like little
Yeah, that was
throne
the
or whatever.
Papazon chair.
And they
Yeah,
just kind of sat in like the little round thing or whatever. It's like,
Yep.
Tump over, you'll tump it over if you go back too
Yeah.
far.
and I'm pretty sure going back to the 70s, if you had one, you were probably a swinger. I'm thinking because
I don't think that's the end all be all. Can you imagine trying to get it on one of those chairs? You would die. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
well-
someone's busting a head.
That would take some. That would
It's not
take
going to be
definite
pleasant for
skill.
anybody involved.
Yeah, that takes some skill for sure.
not anywhere you wouldn't get any straw, that's for sure. But yeah. JT said hello to Vanessa. Let's see here. Brandon, what happened to toss one back Thursday? It's all part of the evolution process. So
Yeah, it's
you
revamping.
you retire things, you rebuild. So still Thursday night. We just kind of change it up a little bit and got to keep things fresh, Brandon. Got to keep them fresh. Olive drab green is my fave. First uniform was OS green. Yeah, that's the color you would definitely enjoy there too, but that's I'm
Mhm.
sure. Vanessa, hope you feel better soon. JT says, indeed. Brother got sick earlier last week. Then sister-in-law, and now mine is starting.
Ugh.
Going around. It's that old misery loves company, I guess.
Oh,
So,
yeah. For sure.
The gift that keeps on giving.
futon couch where I used to sleep on, queen size, 11-inch inner spring mattress on that. Well, you had to have a bigger one than Vanessa because you're like 6'8", whatever. So no, she's not six. She's not six. What is Vanessa is? I got to think with or without the stilettos. I can't remember, but she's like tall. She's like six.
I was like,
Might
what's
be like 6'5", 6'6", or something. She said 6'7", I think, with stilettos. She's tall.
I didn't think she was that tall. Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty
Say
tall. Yeah.
6'2",
Might be 6'3", and then when she puts the stilettos on, it adds the other 6 inches.
but
There we go.
If only, right?
Yeah, she's 6'3". Couch is 80 inches long. I'm 6'3". Yeah, mine wasn't 80 inches long, the one I had here. So your couch is definitely longer than the one I had. Cheers to PA in the house. Hope you're doing well. Bouncing back from COVID now and celebrating with the beer. Well, that works for me. I think that's pretty good to be able to celebrate that way. So, what are you about to crack open, Mal? I'll let you go first. Ladies first here.
Ravinia Brewing Company. This is called their Beer Aid Goza.
Oh.
They used forbidden black rice, apparently, in this one.
You say forbidden you say forbidden black rice?
It's called forbidden black rice. I don't know.
Oh.
But forbidden black rice and Thai ginger. So it's actually a ginger goza.
Ah.
So you got a little bit of they use the Himalayan sea salt and ginger and black rice, apparently. So this one came out fairly recently. It was probably canned about 2 months ago.
Like a little bit of an exotic feel.
A little bit. Well, they wanted a beer with electrolytes in it, which was interesting. So this beer actually has like electrolytes, strangely enough. So
interesting.
Like the owners were into like basketball, but the owners are not the youngest. So it's like old men playing basketball, hence you can see the can art. But they have like these charity basketball games, and then all of those people show up at our brewery and destroy our waiters and waitresses because there's a lot of them. So we'll have like 60 people show up unannounced, and we're like, crap. Okay, and we get through it, but there's a lot of them. But it is a ginger goza, so salt, ginger, rice, all the fun. And it does make you pucker.
Okay.
It's got a little kick to it. It's good though. Like it.
Like the old man with balls should have been a joke in there, but I didn't make it. So
I'm pretty sure all of our Mug Club members have made that joke at least a few times. So.
Well, that's good to know. They didn't miss that opportunity.
No. They took us up on that opportunity to make fun of old man's balls. Yes.
What you got, Todd?
So this is one I picked up last week for the last Thursday's show. So I decided to hold over. So it finally come into our state, even though it's brewed in our state, but we never got it here until recently. So you know what it is. 450 North.
Oh.
So I was at the brew shop. I was like, I had to pick it up. So just to see what it's all about, you know. So it's the creamsicle cheesecake.
Ooh.
And this one is the XXL. Conditioned on double orange, tangerine, cream cheese, graham crackers, vanilla ice cream. So I've never had it, never seen it. So we'll see. Apparently, the guy that was who does all the purchasing for the store, he said it was one of their special releases. I don't think it is unless they do something different for the distribution. I'm not really sure.
Well, they opened up their distribution because I'm seeing them in more spots now coming out this way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I'm saying you guys were getting it, and Joe was getting it, and Eric was getting it. I was like, everybody's getting it except everybody. Or I think Mal, you might even was getting it up there. I was like,
yeah, I was getting it too.
I was like, well, it doesn't make no sense. They used to have to drive an hour and 45 minutes to go get their stuff. If I wanted it, and I sent it out to you guys or whatever. But it was the first time I saw it here in Distro, so I was like, I'm gonna try it and see. So we'll see.
It wasn't us. Those are the rules. Yeah. The dark orange.
Yeah.
The head went away real quick.
It did.
So I guess that's the double orange and tangerine maybe coming in there.
Yeah.
Well, I poured it. Even when I poured it, it really didn't have a whole lot of head to it. So
I know. I could have made a joke there too, but I didn't. I'm just getting back into the groove right now.
yeah, you totally swung and missed on that one. That's pretty
I'm
good.
going.
That's tasty.
I'm going to crack open one of the ones here. The latest of the Voodoo Ranger series, 9.5% ABV. It is the Tropic Force
Fair enough.
from New Belgium. So this is one. I think I had this a couple weeks ago, Todd, when we did the show. I think I had this in the Hot Bullet Magnum I believe. But I've got some of these. So the review will actually be posted next week on the channel. But like I need to go through because I had to buy the 6-pack when I got these.
This is interesting. I don't know about your all's experience when beers say they have cream cheese in it. I don't normally taste it. It just seems a little more creamy. I can actually taste some cream cheese in this one.
Oh, got some creaminess.
It's pretty good though.
Nice.
Get a little bit of everything actually. Just kind of odd.
Nice pineapple in the nose, mango. Definitely a tropical sensation. It almost has like a it's almost like when you were a kid, and at least me and my friends used to do this. We used to go to 7-Eleven and you get a soda
Mhm.
and you would mix the flavors.
Suicides.
So it's suicide. So it's got like a Mountain Dew base, but then it has like you put orange soda in there as well, and maybe Sprite. Like you did a little rundown on the line. So it's kind of got like a feeling of that. It does have an artificial scent to it, but it's just got like that popping out there. But you get orange, you get tangerine. It's not bad. I mean, like I said, I've already had it. I've done a review on it. I will say it's not my favorite from the series. So just as a precaution there, I think it
Gotcha.
I don't know if they're to a point where they're starting to mail in things. They've done so many different voodoo beers, but this one I felt like, little. It's kind of got an over sweetness to it, the artificial type play to it. Not terrible, but just like Emerson was saying, the juicy haze. I drink that from time to time still. This one is definitely less of a quality than that one there. So it's all right. It's not great. It's not terrible, but like they say back in the day, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right.
I mean, not 9.5. I mean, it beats getting one of the malt liquor ones, right?
There
So
you go.
Right.
Kind of like the Three Floyds version of Black is Beautiful beer, where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna mail it in and just put a
Three
label on the
Floyds.
can, and
Three
we're gonna call it
Floyds.
an oatmeal stout, even though it was far from that. Like, okay, you do you can do whatever you want, I guess. But
Three Floyds.
Okay, what?
Your beer was nothing what it was supposed to be. Three Floyds.
that's what it's supposed to play. What is the little kid saying? Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It was like, this is not. This is a black IPA. What are you
That's what I was
doing
gonna
over
say. It's
here?
like,
It's
yeah,
not an
Black
oatmeal
IPA, I
stout.
can get behind that. Oatmeal stout? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like
like,
that
what
was
are
the
you guys
hoppiest
doing?
oatmeal stout I've ever had for sure.
Yeah. I expected better from Three Floyds on that. Although Three Floyds is putting a bunch of stuff out there right now, I'm seeing. Plus, they just had Dark Lord Day, I guess. So,
Yeah.
and they brought back some favors for it too. So,
I wanted to go one day to that because I hear that's just the biggest drunk fest you'd ever want to go to.
I've
yeah.
heard good things. Never been, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I mean, same here. But I hear it's like it's the biggest bottle share that you'd ever want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you made to step over people from time to time, but that's all right. That's a sign of a good party.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here.
Was it last weekend? Maybe.
Might have been last weekend or either last weekend or upcoming. There was a lot of stuff I saw on Facebook, so if it happened already, it was probably
Yeah, it might have
last
been. Yeah,
weekend.
it might be next weekend coming, or not. Either this weekend coming up or the following weekend, maybe. Yeah, it's coming up soon. Which I did see. I did get the Cincinnati Beer Fest for Saturday.
I did. I got the last. You said last chance reminder.
Yeah, I got
like,
the email also. I was like, oh, You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
So is that this weekend? Is coming?
Yeah, I said I think it said
Okay.
the 27th. So
Okay, it's gonna be
But
crazy.
that-
That's always a good one too. That's for those of you that don't know, Cincinnati, when they do the Cincinnati Beer Fest, and Todd's been to it obviously a couple times here. It's huge. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
basically you have like 250 different breweries, 200 to 250, but you end up with over 500 beers
Oh
that
my
they have
god.
available there. And so you have to choose wisely on what you're doing, but not to mention just beers. The last time we went, which actually was right before COVID, literally like the weekend before COVID
Yeah,
hit,
oh,
is when they
yes,
had it,
yeah.
and we went.
that's right.
And they added liquor to it. So now you have like some distillers type stuff there, and you have like the Southern Tier little cocktail type things they do, and some other things that it's just like I wouldn't want to be like coming out like a policeman after that, like dealing with all drunk people that come out there, like people in the street of Cincinnati, like woo, like yelling and screaming. It's just like a crazy. Then people, they're like, you get the burger spot stuff after, and people are just drunk, like ordering. It's just it's a happy mess. But I wouldn't want to deal with it if I was like an administrator to it.
The first time I went was when you and I worked it.
Yeah,
That was the first time I'd been there. And then the one you're talking about in 2000, Shannon and I went, and I think
we just went. We just went. We didn't even work for that one. Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
Shannon, you and Eric came down, and we went to that one, and
Nice.
woo-wee. Yeah,
The funny thing is when
good time though.
I had done it so many times, like volunteering. So funny. So when we went with like Todd, and I got people coming up to me like, "Hey, I remember you like want to train me how to do beer over here before, like a few years ago." And I'm like, they remember me more than I remember some of them. But it was kind of cool that people were like, "You were the one that taught me how to pour beer and blah 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 and stuff." So it was kind of funny. But that's what you go to a beer fest. It's always good to go if you can volunteer and work and you want to get that experience. That's a great way to do it. But then you make some great connection stuff there too. Then when you go, it's like I like to go both ways, like to see from being a buying
Yeah, we've heard that about
and
you.
from working it. See, I was trying to put it a different way to actually put there.
Sorry.
You were quick on the draw on that one.
You set yourself up. There you go.
Smacked it out of the yard on that one.
Yes, you like to go both ways. We all know. It's okay.
I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But, brother, I am bad, and they know I'm bad. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now, reaching out because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now. Love you.
So there you go. So there you go on
There
that.
you go. We've all been schooled.
Some of my inner Dusty on that one. Yeah.
That was long in there, Dusty there.
Emerson, to explain toss one back implies enjoy one beer. Happy hour employees drink your face loose and pick a fist fight with your boss on Friday.
It's very true, Emerson. Very true.
Yep.
That may or may have not happened. We don't know. Could have.
Yep.
It could have.
Like I dare you, cross the slide, I dare you.
It's like, you say one never happens. No one ever says, you say go get one beer. One never happens to be just one.
It's just
Like if someone says go one beer, you should just go in and think it's going to be 2 or 3. If someone says let's go get a couple of beers, you want to think 4 to 6. Someone says a few beers, you're probably going 9 to 12. It's like you got to just know where the line where it fits in those numbers. The numbers aren't an exact number.
if somebody says let's just have one beer and that's all you have is one beer, then you're like, what just happened? Like
That means the get together was not with
Yeah.
right. There was
you wanted to hang out with.
caused that. Yes.
That means that you chose the wrong people. You went and you had your one. You all split ways, and you went to another bar where you like people and you had more. That's what that means.
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever said let's just have a beer and just had a beer.
I've managed it 2 times.
Have
2
you?
times I have managed it. Only twice. Ever.
I mean, it goes back.
Said it a few times, but I don't think it's ever happened.
It's like the potato chip rule. You can't just have one potato chip.
Right.
So you're just not even going into it. Lake Michigan hydrodiox filtered by Bria.
Okay.
Bria filter, so he's having a water.
That's Brita.
Is it?
He wrote Bria.
Yeah.
Brita
Maybe-
filter is for water. I don't know what Bria
Oh.
is.
Maybe it's a typo, or maybe it's Italian. I don't know. Fragile. Must be
yeah.
Italian.
Yes.
Great minds think alike. Right?
See, drinking water here too. So everybody's drinking water. So there you go.
You guys, come on.
Wait a minute, too much chlorine bite for me. Get the chlorine out. He's filtered it, just like beer. What's up, Ray? It's in the house, I think. I think it's Ray.
Hey.
Alkanauts.
Hi,
Usually it's Ray that
Alkanauts.
chimes in.
Either or, yeah.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Hey, Vanessa. Just grabbed a juicy have beer hug out of the fridge.
I think
There
it's
you go.
hazy beer hug.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm reading them the right way they're typing them, so it's just you're catching them.
Oh, juicy haze. Sorry.
Juicy Haze beer hug, not juicy
Yeah.
have beer. Like it might have been have a hug, like have a beer hug.
Possibly. It's
No,
a
I've
grammar
had
police.
juicy haze before.
A juicy
see?
Haze
Yeah, see, there you
beer
go.
hug. I can't type. Well, you know Mal was a teacher, right? So she's gonna catch.
That's what I
those
said.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, more than that, I'm a beer drinker. I knew the juicy haze.
Brew, what's up? Cheers, Brew here.
Hey,
Cheers, my
Brew.
friend. Were you one of those teachers? Like you taught music. You didn't teach anything else besides music, right?
I taught music, I taught art, I taught PE.
Okay, but nothing where they had to read or anything like that and everything.
Well, I mean, the
Because
reading
I mean, you got to
level
read music,
was-
I guess, but it was not not like English where they can't understand a word and you say we go look it up in the dictionary.
Well, I had
Because
my
I hated
students-
teachers. I hated teachers that did that. Like, if you can't spell it now, how are you going to find it in the dictionary? Never made any sense.
Well, I had my students singing in like 30 plus languages, so we had to look things up a lot. So, yeah.
But you told them how to spell it if they were looking for something, probably.
Well, they had the word in front of them. They just didn't know what the word
Oh.
meant.
Okay, what
It's
well,
in
they
a
had the
different
word there,
language.
so they could actually look it up. But if you know what it's like in school, some teachers,
Yeah.
if you didn't know, and like spelling, and they're like, why do I? And they're like, well, go look it up in the dictionary. How do kids find out where you're going to go in the dictionary if you don't know how to spell it to start off?
You're right.
Because it's
Yeah.
done alphabetical, so you got to know where the letters are to even look to see the words. So
Well, generally, you can figure out what it starts with. That's the easy part, is figure out what the word starts with. It's all the middle letters that you have to be concerned about.
have you seen some of the states we have in this country? There's some that can't spell the beginning of words the right way.
Well, yeah.
Well, you have words that
Yeah.
could start with a different letter and they sound the same.
Yeah, some don't get the silent letters either, so it can be tough. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, Beers for Breakfast, Facts for Snacks signed in, and he said his name was Brew, and his name's Drew. So, yeah.
Yeah, but Bruce is nickname. That's why he goes by Bruce.
Ah,
So
fair
he's
enough.
always Brew. Yeah, he's always Brew. But yeah, which really, Drew. I mean, you really didn't stretch too far to come up with that nickname from Brew from the Drew. I'm just saying.
I
Close
like
enough.
it.
No.
It works. I'm just saying you could have probably went a little further. I mean, you only went over a couple letters, but just saying.
Oh, it's only one letter. You need help.
Yeah. No, B, C, D. 1, 2. You skip one, you're on the
Oh.
second letter.
Went
See?
over 2 letters. Okay, I understand now. I thought you were saying
Who was
change
the
letters.
teacher? You or me? Who was the teacher?
No,
You or
I thought
me?
were saying they only changed 2 letters. He only changed 1 letter. That's why I was saying no. Just one.
Mal.
No, don't you start with me just because you can't say your sentence
Emotional
clearly.
damage.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
You were on a roll for a bit. But
I'm on a roll as long as there's a beer in my hand.
I'm going to go to Joe on this one.
Come on, man.
Oh, yes, it is Ray in the house. Awesome. Hey, Ray, LOL. So, yeah, you're getting a kick out of that one. But, yeah, so New Belgium, Voodoo Ranger, Tropic Forest. It does get better as it warms up. If you like pineapple, you like orange, you like tangerine, you like a little bit of a mango, a little bit of papaya. You might like this one. It's an easy drinker for 9.5.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people like to attack New Belgium. I've seen recently too. So, just because a lot of people like to attack New Belgium because they're not like as fully crafted they used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like,
I
yeah.
see.
They had some better stuff back in the day. They did have some of the other stuff they were doing, but times change,
But it's
As
still
long
one
as
of
they
those.
got Dragon's Milk Stroopwafel, I'm happy. Wait, no, that's New Holland. Not New Belgium.
That's New Holland.
Yeah.
I'm mixing them up.
But
Yeah.
New Belgium's one of those, like, if you go to a restaurant or something, because you can get them a lot of, wide variety of places. So it's like,
Yeah.
Kind of a good introductory, probably a step above introductory, but,
Yeah. Oh, they got the history out of Colorado for everything they did. And so with them
Yeah.
kind of,
I mean, they're kind of a sort of an OG in the industry, I guess you could say.
yeah. And with them doing now, probably, if I had to think about their Voodoo series, it's probably like 40% of their stuff is probably towards that direction now, at least.
Yeah.
And you don't get like some of the old stuff they did with the white label and
Right.
some of the more specialty type brews they used to do. So that's why some people just aren't as big into them. But they're running the market the way they need to run it, I guess. Any funk at all? It's got a little bit of a kind of a funk type feel to it, but it's not like some of the some of the sours you might get. It doesn't really have that much of a sour note to it. It's definitely more sweeter. Got a little melony type feel to it as well. So I said there's no problem with drinking it. I'm knocking it out with no problem. It's got a little bit of a nice ripeness in the taste, but yeah. But again, it's just versus the other stuff I've had in the series. This one is definitely down there a little bit. So here in Baltimore, obviously, AFC Championship weekend. Ravens are in. People going crazy. People going nuts. Just like they're going to get it this year. Blah, blah, blah. It's going to be got the Chiefs coming to town. And what do you have when you have the Chiefs coming to town?
Taylor Mania.
Freaking, I'm sure it's going to get crazy this weekend. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen because I don't know if she's going to be here or not. Chances are, if she's free, she will be, which means now we got to deal with the Swifties probably coming to
Oh,
town.
I'm sure
too,
she'll be there. I'm sure she'll
which
be
will
there.
probably be all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see how crazy it gets here.
I mean, if you go by the logo, conspiracy theorists, it's going to be the Ravens against shit.
The Lions?
No.
The
The
Niners?
49ers. The Niners.
Oh,
and the
really?
Ravens. Because it's purple and red. And they said
What's that?
the last 3 Super Bowls, the colors of the logo has been the teams that were playing in it. So now there's a big conspiracy theorist because at the beginning of the year it wasn't that color; it was a different logo, and now it's all now in the last several months it's changed to purple and red.
I was going to say because the Chiefs got red, but there'd be no purple on the Niners, I guess.
Well, no, but you got the
Well,
Ravens.
the purple would be the Ravens,
Niners.
right?
Yeah, but the Ravens played the Chiefs, so if the Chiefs beat them, the Chiefs will still have red.
Oh then that goes out the window. That's what I'm saying. Let it be
Yeah.
the Ravens and the Niners in the Super Bowl. You go by the conspiracy theorists of the logo colors.
I mean, shouldn't everybody be rooting for the Lions? So just to see the Lions.
I mean, I hope the Lions. For me personally, yes.
Just to
'Cause
get
that's
that
my-
monkey off their back.
That's my
Yeah.
fantasy team were the Lions anyway, so and that didn't.
They've earned it. They've waited long enough, right?
Yeah. He'd probably have Barry Sanders come out for the coin flip or something. It'd probably be pretty cool if the Lions were there.
Oh, that would be sweet if that happens.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I just want to see Chew that happy because I'm a Steelers fan, so I've watched my team go all the way and be amazing over and over, and he's never gotten to see that. His entire life, he's never gotten to see his team go all the way, and
I'd like to
I
see
kind of want it just for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten to see it a bunch. I'm super pleased with my team, even though they were kind of shit this year. I'm like, they're
it's
fine.
the playoffs though.
Then they've proven themselves time and time
We're
again.
supposed
I'm
to.
good. I'm good.
They do.
But he hasn't gotten to see this before, so he's very excited for his team. And his college team won the nationals. So yeah,
It's Stu's year.
he's had a good year. So
Well, he might need them to win. Now that Harbaugh's accepted the Chargers job.
Yeah.
So he's
I
leaving
know.
Michigan. Yeah.
I know that was rough.
He's gonna dart for the NFL and leave the school in shambles.
You know what?
Yeah.
Leave on a high note. Leave on a high note, like
Yeah.
George Costanza on Seinfeld.
Well, he's leaving on a high note, and he's leaving all his mess behind him, which always got in trouble for this past year.
Yeah.
So, it's like good kudos for you. Go ahead.
Well, I think a big reason he's leaving is because the Big Ten was so harsh on him. He had to sit out for 3 games because he bought some kid a burger. Like,
Yeah.
he bought someone
It's-
a burger and had to sit out for 3 games. Like, what? What?
No, I
Really?
wouldn't.
No, that was the
wasn't
sign.
fine.
That was the
because
sign thing. Yeah, I did right.
That was
Like
because his assistant coaches were supposedly spying and practice and games of taking notes.
No. This was before that. This was early on in the
This-
season.
when
like,
the first time he had to sit out was going back to the burger thing, right? Like
Okay.
you're talking about early on in the season, he was out for
Yeah.
a couple of games, but that was the burger thing, and then later on it was the sign thing, which is
Yeah.
stupid in itself. So
Right.
That was the 3-game suspension was because of the sign thing.
But was there technically a rule in place that you couldn't, figure out what other teams' signs are? I mean,
No,
there
that's-
wasn't
no,
even
that's
really a
what I'm saying.
rule, was
Like,
there?
If your signs are that easy to steal, then shame on you. You should be
I
better.
know,
than
right?
that.
there was like some type of Big Ten thing. It's stupid because it was like there was some type of Big Ten thing, like you couldn't, I guess, go to a game and try to. I don't know. All I know is when I
Yeah.
played football back in the day, the few years I played it, and my friends played football, they used to have these things called tape sessions, where you get tapes from the other team,
Yeah.
and you watch the tapes from the other team to
So
try to
you
figure out
learn
what they're
the other
doing.
team does.
Yeah, and you learn to pick out watching their tape. So you're watching the
Yeah.
players, you're watching them, reading them, so you know what plays are coming up. So here we are in 2023, 2024. We don't have VCRs as much anymore. We just can go and watch. Oh,
Right.
you can't do that. You can't do that. That's against the law. You can't do that. That breaks the rules.
I was
I
I was
don't know. I
telling-
didn't feel like it was against the rules. Okay, so they hired someone from like CIA, FBI, whatever, who could learn that stuff faster than other people, but really, there wasn't like a rule against it, right?
Yeah.
Was there
I don't,
specifically
I
a rule
don't,
against it?
I don't think there was a written rule,
There's-
like a gentleman type thing. It's like
Well,
blackjack in
yeah,
a
but
casino.
if you don't have
You're
a
not
written
supposed.
rule,
It's you can't. You're not supposed to count the cards because it's frowned upon. But literally,
right.
they can't really tell if you're doing that or stop you
Right,
from doing it.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
they did just kick you out. That's it.
Yeah.
But I was telling Shannon this when Harbaugh was going through that. I was like, so when I was assistant coaching baseball in high school, and we were playing, I don't know if it was actually a regular season game or just during the summer league. I don't remember, but the team we were playing, I knew the head coach back from years ago, and he was simply calling the pitches for his pitcher. He would just like tug on his shirt for a fastball and maybe his ear for a curve, whatever the sign was. I
Mhm.
picked it up instantly. So I huddled guys around. I was like, do you want to know what the sign is coming when you're hitting? Like if it's a fastball, I'll call your first name. If it's a breaking ball or whatever the deal was, I'll call your last name. And they're like, yes. We scored like 20 runs on them, like and just killed them. I'm like, I was like, dude, if you
Well,
ain't
you
no
learn
better
their
than
signs.
that,
See?
like why
Yeah.
is that my fault that I can
If
easily
they're
pick
making
that up?
it that easy to figure out, it's not your fault that they.
Exactly.
made it
That was my
easy.
point. Like with Harbaugh, I was like, if you're guys, if you're coaching a team and you can't hide your signs better to where somebody else can pick them up, then that's your fault. That's not my fault. Like if I can pick them
Yeah.
up, then shame on you.
Yeah. I mean, Ray Lewis wasn't the first player saying if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I mean, that's
Exactly.
kind of
You're right.
well known out there. Players try to get an advantage any way they can in sports.
Right.
So it's all
It's
part of it.
cutthroat.
So it's kind of funny how that whole thing came out because people were saying like, you're at the thing, you're watching. So what's the difference between that and actually going to a tape room and watching
Right.
video on that team or tape on that team? You're still trying to pick up the same information. It's just now you don't have to do that. Yeah, but yeah, the whole burger thing, that kind of stuff's kind of stupid anyway, because now you have NIL. So really you're going to penalize somebody for
Right.
getting a burger, but kids are now making millions. So
Yeah.
I think they had an issue with Harbaugh myself in the Big Ten. I think they were kind of slanting against him, and
No, they were sided
Yeah.
against him for sure.
yeah. I know Wichita's not happy. I mean, Wichita's happy that he's going. That's probably Ryan over at Ohio State, the coach there.
Yes.
He,
He never- He never beat him, had he?
No.
It was
He's
like
like, we got
0-3 or 0-4 against him or something.
He's like, we got a shot, boys. We got a shot this year.
You know, the interesting thing, though, and a friend of mine texted me, like, Harbaugh's record in the Big Ten was like 30-3 from the time they pinpointed when they were sending coaches out to steal signs or whatever the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so maybe there is a little bit behind that, but if you're able to steal the signs again, like, that's not his fault. That's shame on your other schools for not being able to cover it up better than that, you know?
Right.
I mean, maybe he learned from Bill.
Able to figure it out, then hey, why not go for it?
Maybe he learned from Bill Belichick. I'm just saying,
I mean,
you
it's a
know,
possibility.
Spygate brought some Super Bowls to New England, and after it was exposed, he didn't have as much of a run like he did previously. So,
or without Tom Brady, he's been pretty much garbage without Tom Brady.
yeah, he became the Cleveland Browns old coach again. So
yes, he did.
People don't remember those years. He was terrible in Cleveland before going to New England and before Tom Brady fell into his
Rod,
lap.
you know my cousin Pat that used to play Call of Duty with us. So he's a huge Patriot fan, but he's a huge Belichick fan. I'm like, he was garbage at Cleveland. He's like, no, he wasn't. I was like, no, he was terrible. Then he went to New England. He wasn't great as starting until Brady started playing. I'm like, then he became this genius of a coach.
Yeah.
Brady quit, won a Super Bowl with Tampa, and then all of a sudden he's not been in the playoffs since. I'm like, okay, so tell me Belichick is great again. Why?
I think that's why Brady went to Tampa to prove it. Hey, it was me. It was me.
Well,
it wasn't Bill. It was me.
And Belichick ran him out of town, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm aware that a single person can have a lot of influence over how a team does for a year. However, it still depends on the team too. Honestly, if you're a great coach and the players coming in are shit, you ain't gonna have a good team.
Exactly.
Like it's the magic that happens when the good players and the good management come together. That's the magic. That's when you get these exciting moments for these fans. But you got to have both. You can't just throw a great coach into a shit team. It's not like some, feel-good movie, Friday Night Lights style. It's not that. No, life doesn't work that way. It's you need
Belichick's time in Cleveland. Okay, they probably did suck, but I mean, you're just talking a couple of years after Brady left, and they've been terrible ever since. I'm like, that doesn't.
And Brady never really had except for the year he had Moss, really.
Yeah, he never really
top
had
receivers. I mean, he had Gronk. He had Gronk that came in, but before Gronk, he was still able to win when he had players that weren't wide receiver ones on other teams. So he was able to make them better players.
I used to tell him all the time, it's like he can't throw it farther than 10 yards because he always had the little white dude that ran into the drags across the field and he'd just dump it off and they'd run for 40 yards. I'm like,
and Amendola would kill me in fantasy leagues doing that shit.
And he'd hate when I'd say that. And I'd just say it just
I hate when someone going to get somebody in fantasy and they got Amendola son of a bitch. little Speedy Gonzalez.
And who was that before him, actually?
Wes Welker.
Yeah, Welker.
Yeah.
They had a string of just little bitty white dudes that just ran the slot and just crossing paths every single time. Like, okay.
I was like, they should have been the Smurfs with those little fellas running around. That little crew they had. Like, where is he going with all that? See, Ray said that Goose Island has a bit of the old orange funk. Oh, so you got the Goose Island.
Oh.
Because I've had one of their bear ones when I was in Florida, which was actually pretty decent, but it wasn't the one that you actually have there.
Yeah, the Juicy Haze beer hug. Or bear hug.
Yeah. Isn't it too cold for baseball? Yeah.
He's from Canada. What is he talking about? Too cold?
Yeah, right.
What's up, Big Daddy? Oh, he's got a hopping frog, peanut butter, caramel, chocolate cake style. Oh, I do miss some I miss some hopping frog.
Huh? You know what? I don't know that we even get them around here anymore either.
How did they even fit all that name on the can? Honestly,
that sounds.
There's not enough room to write all that.
That sounds amazing.
Hopping Frog, they come up with some titles. They figured out how to do it in their text they use, but I do miss some Hopping Frog. I don't see it as much. I get occasionally I'll come across something here or there that we'll get down here, but yeah,
we used to get it all the time, but I don't think we
it does sound awesome, Ray. It does sound awesome.
Yes.
What also sounds awesome is for me to get another beer here. So
Uh-oh. Oh, you're under an hour. Are you sure?
That's what I was just thinking too.
what's the hour gonna do anything?
Well, since you switched it to 3 hours for the show, I try to have 3 beers, 1 per hour. You're ahead of time. It's only 53, so you got 7 more minutes. You should wait.
Well, you can move at your own pace. I'm not holding anybody back.
I'm teasing
Amateur-
you. I'm teasing
Amateur
you.
grind.
Honestly, I'm pretty close to being done
I
too.
was gonna say,
So.
everybody take 5 and grab another beer.
If you feel the need for speed, go for it.
Yes, there is. Plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
I mean, that's how I roll. So
Uh-huh.
don't wait on me. Don't wait on me. I'll be right back.
Oh man.
So how you feeling? You feeling all right now with all the
I'm
fluid and
at about,
everything done,
I'd
or-
say 85%. I'm not 100% yet, but the flu really knocked me out. I had 11 straight days where I could not sleep because of my coughing fits.
Oh damn.
So yeah, it was a little rough for a while there, but I'm okay now. So getting by, still working, doing all the things.
Did Chew ever come down with it too, or did you say, or no?
He gave it to me actually. He had
he
it
gave
for
it to
5
you.
days. I had it for 11
Oh.
because he's a dick. So
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
his
Oh,
immune
poor
system is a lot
Chew.
stronger than mine. So when he gets sick, it's for much shorter periods of time. Actually, with COVID, all 3 times that we've both had COVID, he would have it for half the amount of time that I did. Every
That'd be me as
So
well.
like
Yeah.
I get hit like the first time I had COVID, I had 12 straight days of fever.
Damn.
And so in and
Ooh.
out of fever. So I was like hallucinating, like that level fever. It was really bad. So, and he had like 4 days and he had a bit of a cough and he was fine. I'm like, God damn it, fuck you. You asshole with your healthy immune system. Oh my gosh.
And the last time I had COVID, we were on vacation up in Michigan. I didn't even know. I knew I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel bad and still did everything that we were doing, but I was like, didn't feel good. I felt
So
okay,
with this
Worn.
flu,
worn down, yeah.
with this flu, day 5 was the apex for him. And day 6, he was almost better. And day 7, he was totally better.
Oh wow.
I started feeling the symptoms on his day 5. So I started on his day 5, and it wasn't until day 10 that I was like hit the top of the worst.
Down.
And then it came down slowly after that. But like it effed me up, I'll say.
That sucks.
So yeah. I'm sick twice as long whenever I have the same thing as him. So his immune system is pretty solid. He claims it's because he keeps licking handrails on the subway and stuff, which I suppose would do it over time, but gross. So
Those will not be what you want to lick for sure.
well, that's why he and I haven't kissed in 3 years. That and the mustache. The mustache has whatever he had for dinner in it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Don't know where those lips have been, mister.
Yep.
So I'm going to drink one of the hot bullets here. And it's going to be
Nice.
the Magnum edition. So, this is
It
the
sounds like
limited
you're
release.
compensating for something.
Not me. Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada is compensating for something.
They're
Okay.
compensating with their Magnum.
Yeah.
The Magnum.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I hear Magnum, I expect to find like a gallon of liquor on my table or something like, right? Magnum?
You know what I think of when I hear Magnum?
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet. A place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match, a cigarette, and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
That
Tell me,
voice.
Tell me Smokey isn't bringing the heat on that.
You're like, what rating
Uh,
is this?
somebody's
there was
getting,
that-
somebody's getting some honey tonight.
If there was
Some
ever a
something,
PSA,
yeah.
if there was ever a PSA, you wouldn't have a cigarette after. There you go. Just don't do it in the forest where you'll start a fire.
Like, was it good for you as it was for me? Maybe.
All right, you two got beers. It's my turn. I'm gonna run.
All right. Back in the 70s, husbands were like, honey, we're going camping this weekend. Oh, what did you end up grabbing?
Hang on, let me plug me in here.
Oh, you got to plug himself in, folks.
Got to plug me in. So I grabbed this one. This one also picked up last week. This one is Woodworks Brewing Company French Toast Stout, and I'm afraid this might be too sweet, but I don't know. It's with maple syrup, cinnamon, and vanilla.
Oh. He said, who's the brew? Was it Weldworks?
Weldworks, yep.
Well, Weldworks is known for some good stuff, so you might be
I know.
pleasantly
That's
pleased
what
there.
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hoping.
yeah. What's it called? Southern Tier at the French Toast went out too. I haven't picked it up though.
It doesn't say pastry stout, so I'm hoping that it's not. Like most pastries are usually sweet.
Yeah.
On the end of sweetness. So let's see.
Yeah,
What's the ABV on this one? I can't ever find them half the time.
Yeah, Ray, those handrails I don't touch them. I wouldn't touch them at all just to touch them anyway. They're not good.
7.4% ABV. So
Oh, it's not too bad.
so
I
we'll
think
see.
the one for Southern Tier might be like 8% on there, but it's part of their Blackwater series they came out with. French
But
toast
I'm
in
happy
the
that we
evening.
can get them here. A good portion of them anyway.
Pour that beer.
Oh, it's starting to form a little head. Go ahead. That's what she said.
Yeah, baby.
I was trying to set you up there. It was growing. It was growing.
It was growing. That's what she said
That's
too.
what he said.
It's a grower, not a shower. Got it.
It's growing. I promise you, it's gonna get there.
Give it some time.
How much time we got? Yeah, it smells straight like maple syrup for sure. Now I'm kind of thinking it's gonna be sweet.
Oh yeah.
Pastry stout sweet. Definitely smells like just walking into the kitchen during breakfast time. Like the
Oh,
Nice.
kind
nice.
of sausage on there, sausage going, links, and the maple syrup, and
Nice.
I kind of want to just like scramble some eggs and eat with it.
Get out the Blackstone. Algonaut says, but not real maple syrup.
Oh,
Damn you, Ray.
The smell is definitely sweet. The taste,
Mhm.
not as much. I like it. That's
So
pretty good.
it's toned down then.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, which is great because I was kind of hesitant to pull it out. I was like, I don't know if I want something that sweet or not. Just thinking the name of it, but no, it's not at all. It's pretty good. You definitely get that, whatever the other flavoring is or other ales or whatever, however they label it on there, kind of get that
Yeah.
a little bit to it.
hmm
Definitely get the maple syrup in it for sure. Cinnamon, not so much. Vanilla, a little bit, but it's pretty tasty though.
Ray says,
Definitely
likely-
Definitely French toast for sure with the syrup or maple syrup. Like I said, it's probably the generic maple syrup, but
I mean, it could be refined cane sugar, Ray. I mean, you know.
I mean, I guess. Doesn't say. At least not that I can tell anyway.
Yeah. Like I said, I know WellWorks, they usually do some pretty good stuff.
Almost kind of has like on the very back end as it's just settling down. It almost has kind of a hint of coffee to it,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of nice. That goes along with like the syrup French toast type vibe to it. It's kind of weird, but it's nice. I like it. It's pretty good.
Nice.
It didn't say nothing about coffee, but it kind of get a little of that hint. Maybe that's the
Oh, from the malt.
cocoa nibs or the malt or something maybe in it. Pretty tasty.
Was there a big syrup heist in 2019?
I hadn't heard about a big syrup heist of 2019.
I mean, I might have all went to Shane's house actually. So you might want to check him out. He'd be my first
Yeah,
suspect.
check in with Shane. He might know.
Right, for sure. Yes. Good. Yes. Good call there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had all of it.
Yeah. Syrup? I know nothing about no syrup. So what did you grab, Mal?
I grabbed something slightly out of season, and I'm okay with that. But it is so this was Brewer's Triangle. It's Ravinia, Metropolitan, and Maplewood all working together on one beer. This is actually our pumpkin alt beer.
Oh.
So I know I'm kind of blast from the pasting with the pumpkin beer, but I wanted a pumpkin beer and I had one, so I was like, screw it. So
Nobody wants a pumpkin beer.
make pumpkin alt beer. Well, I love an alt beer in general, so to have one that's pumpkin as well, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I like alt beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
got a good collar on it.
So
But cinnamon maple, all the works, and it's just a pretty nice
Got
classic pumpkin
maple all
ale.
over.
Huh?
More maple. We got maple all over.
Mm-hmm.
Your new Def Leppard song, Pour Some Maple on Me. What?
Okay, why not?
Nice.
Oh God, that would be a terrible. Like I say that, I think of Shane again. Like that'd be a terrible Shane video. Don't give him an idea. He'll do something off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to see Dane just soaking himself in maple. Nobody wants to see that. Oh, it is awesome. And I left out the hazelnut flavor. Missed that.
Nice.
Hazelnut. Oh yeah, with the hopping frog. Nice. Mal had a really good alt beer from Pipeworks recently. There you go.
Really? I haven't had a alt beer from Pipeworks yet, so I'm gonna have to look for that now.
Oh, Pipeworks.
My hot tub is filled with maple syrup.
You are not going to convince any woman to come over to that hot tub. Just so you know.
I was gonna say TMI. Are you sure it's maple syrup? Or
Is
you
that
just
gonna be
eat a
it?
lot of maple syrup, and that's what
There is no woman who would be like, "Oh yes, please sign me up for that." No.
Is that gonna be a new Alkanauts video? Pour some maple on me. do it before Shane does it.
They're gonna have Drew record it for them.
Oh my goodness. Drew will be all up in the maple, I'm sure. No American.
No American women. Okay, there's the possibility that there are Canadian women who would be like, "Hot tub of maple syrup? Yes, please." I can say for me, that ain't happening.
Canadian women love the syrup.
Oh man,
Oh,
you're
I
a
don't know.
troublemaker, Ray.
I don't know. Seems like a sticky situation to me.
I felt like you tried too hard.
Yeah, right.
Sticky situation.
Last show I asked you to watch the real video for Total Eclipse of the Heart. Did you watch that?
Oh, the real video, the original video.
No, the they call it the real video, but it's like.
Well, they did. We watched it with the words and stuff.
Yes.
We watched it after the show.
That's
all
right.
here.
I
Yeah.
remember now.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. That was
It
classic.
was ridiculous.
Yeah. It was well synced. It was right there.
Yeah, they did pretty well.
Shout out Dave's in the house, beer and friend. Cheers, my friend.
Dave.
Great to see you as well. Dave's been doing some great NA beers. I was talking about you earlier on some of the stuff. If you haven't seen Dave on his on the YouTube channel or the podcast, Beer in Front, he's been doing this month sharing some of the good NA beers he's been enjoying. He also did an interview with Go earlier in the year, early in the year and early in the month. I can use both in this situation. So, beginning of January, and he just did one recently on Guinness and a couple other ones. So great stuff, my friend. Actually listened to the podcast last night when I was shaving my head.
Shaving your head.
All right, Ray. Always great to have you stop by, my friend. Cheers, brother. Y'all know the Alkanauts.
Okay.
Make sure to check out the Alkanauts. Blast off with those guys. They're terrific.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they do have syrup in a hot tub. I mean. It works for somebody, right? Yeah.
As long as you have French
apparently
toast,
Canadian
go on with
women.
it. No, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, just dip your French. I wouldn't dip the French toast in a hot tub with it.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah. That's,
I mean, it seemed like a good
Oh,
idea.
no. I just had a whole lot of gross in there.
wrong
Nope.
answer. Wrong answer.
A whole lot of gross right there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That'll be a pass. What was that? The Deuce Bigelow, American Gigolo, when
Oh,
Eddie Griffin
God,
kept
yeah.
he kept beating in the hot tub and dropping food in the hot tub when he was talking to him.
Oh,
Oh god. There's like a B movie that on a Saturday you're like, okay, I'll keep on watching, I guess. I mean, I'm here, the remote's over there. I don't really want to move, and I feel like it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
So
just screw it.
we'll-
Just see what
we'll stick with it.
happens.
yeah, for me, it's the Monty Python movies and the Addams Family movies. Those are my like go-to for the remote's too far. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to watch this, even though I've watched it like 30 times. Yeah, it's those.
Yeah. But Monty Python, though, that's like a classic type call, though.
I know.
It's not like it's a terrible type. Like sitting there watching Joe Dirt. I'm not going to move because I don't feel like moving to get anything, but I can sit there and laugh. But it's not like
You're right.
I'm choosing it for the quality of it. Like the write
Yeah.
is not great. Like you're not,
So mine are actually a different category. Mine are you're flipping channels and one of those happens to be on, I will stop and watch it. If it's Monty Python, if it's the Addams Family movies, I will stop and watch those movies. So
Yeah.
I guess it's a separate category. It's not the same.
No,
Yeah.
I have those also. I do that as well.
because that's like Tombstone or
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
yeah,
Tombstone,
Tombstone's like-
Shannon coming in and she's like, "How many times do you watch this?" Like, it was on. When I was supposed to
Well,
do
it's
it. Now
on,
it's midnight,
yeah.
and it's still got an hour left, so I'm gonna be up until whatever.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, speaking of movies, I don't think I mentioned this when we did a couple weeks ago. I finally actually got a chance to see John Wick 4. I actually sat down and watched John Wick 4.
Oh, I still need to see that.
Let me tell you,
No spoilers.
it's freaking awesome, just like the other John Wick movies.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
Nice.
yeah, the scenes and the graphics and stuff that are in it are pretty intense, pretty action packed. Obviously, it's almost like a Fast and Furious type thing. They're gonna be over the top, but they're still pretty cool in how they're actually doing the scenes. And we all know what you call him dies, but it was kind of sad seeing him in the movie because there's parts in the movie that almost seem like I don't say a perfect send up because he died, Lance Riddick, but his
Yeah.
role in the movie, some of the stuff he says in it is like a perfect tie to it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty tight. It was pretty tight, and
We watched. Was it a couple years ago? When we were in Tennessee with her aunt or whatever. We just watched like the first 3 movies in one sitting, like 6 hours, 7 hours straight or whatever. Just like one,
like
two,
John Wick 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, now I've never. Neither one of us have ever seen them. I was like, oh, these are great. So like, okay, let's watch the second one. I was like, all right, then let's watch the third one. Okay. So
I think I'll be.
the fourth one.
I think I'd be wound up if I watched them all. Like I wouldn't want to go to sleep if I watched them going into the night. I'd be all hyped
Yeah,
up on it. Yeah.
Well, luckily, we started kind of early, and then kind of
Mhm.
got like 7, 8 o'clock, and we were done. then it was time to drink and play some games. So we were up late anyway, so it didn't make any difference. Kind of wore off.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I was looking forward to number 4.
And then speaking of old shows, I say it's an old show. So like COVID over the last week, I'm like, I'm not really going to go anywhere and do anything. I guess I'll catch up on some stuff. I actually started watching Stranger Things again. I don't know if you guys watch Stranger Things, but I hadn't watched it in a while, so I had to go back and find out. I didn't was all the way back to season 3. Like, where did I leave off on this damn thing? Like, it's been so long since I watched it. And I'm going through trying to see the different episodes, and I had to go all the way back.
What season are they on now?
Season 4 had just finished last.
So I think we watched 75% of season 3, and we're like, no, we're done. Then it was like 3 years later, like, this doesn't even make any sense. All these kids now were teenagers. Now they're like 20-something years old. Like, how do they
Well, they actually start aging them up because they're older when they take the roles anyway. So, yeah.
Well, I know that, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, now they're like, they should be parents by now, not still in high school.
Well, it was set in the 80s, so they may be.
Well, that's just good point. Good point.
But
so are you caught up now? Because like the next season's not coming out for like another year and a half or something.
No, I'm like season 3, and I think I just finished episode 7, so I got to finish like the last one, or I don't know if they did 8 or 10 in season 3, but I got to finish that season out and then watch season 4 to get caught up. But
you got time. You got plenty of time.
It's funny. I don't know if I enjoy the storyline more with that show or just more of the reminiscent of being back in the 80s and growing up in that time. That's like a thing that hooks me in, like seeing the mall, the arcades, all the different stuff. Yeah.
Because I feel like the same way is like, oh yeah. I was like, okay, so like the storyline's like, it's good, but it's like, was it really that good? I don't know, but I think that kind of pushes it over the edge, actually.
Yeah, so some of them, just like the different things, seeing that. So I enjoy it, but like I said, I hadn't watched it in so long, I forgot where I even was on that thing. So that's kind of the show that I'm watching now. We got into watching True Detective, which is back on for the new season of that with Jodie Foster, which put Jodie Foster on something you know is going to probably do excellent. So we're kind of watching the first couple episodes of that. We're kind of hooked into that now.
So I think we watched the first 2 seasons of that, and we didn't watch Chris Rock last year. Actually, I think the last one we watched was when
no, Chris Rock was Fargo. Which I did finish Fargo.
Oh, that was Fargo. Oh, that was
I just finished the season of Fargo. Okay, yeah.
So either one, I watched Fargo the first 2 seasons of that.
Yeah.
But we also watched True Detective also.
Yeah.
Was it the Woody Harrelson and
Matthew McConaughey was the first season.
That was the first one. But who was the second one?
Second was I think Colin Farrell and
yes,
can't remember who he was, and the third one was Mahershala Ali, which was a pretty good season.
So we watched part of that one, and that was and we didn't watch all.
Yeah. And this one is pretty intense with some of the writing. This one they related back as being as good as the first season, which we're only a couple episodes in. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, it's pretty intense. You got Jodie Foster, so we got some good talent here, but that first season was off the hook with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn was in.
Vince Vaughn, yeah. He was in the second one, right?
Yeah.
With Colin Farrell. Yeah.
So we saw the first 2, and then the third one we got about halfway through it, and we're like, I don't know. So but the good thing with that is like you can pick it up pretty much any season and watch all of them because they really don't have nothing to do with the other one, I don't think, right?
No, they're different storylines, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like Fargo.
Yeah, like Fargo. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
when I was coming down with the flu recently, I finagled my schedule to have 4 days off to try and recover. And in that 4 days, I decided to only watch Academy Award winners for Best Picture.
Oh, okay.
So I went back through the list to the very first. Well, they won Best Production because they weren't calling it Best Picture at the time, but Best Production. 1927 Wings. It's a silent movie. And I've never had a silent movie actually make me tear up, and this one did. So, that was kind of fun. And then after that, I watched, it was from 1967, In the Heat of the Night.
Oh, that's the original with Sidney Poitier and
So yeah,
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier.
yeah.
I had never seen it before.
They
so that
call
was
me
fun.
Tibbs. They call me.
Yeah, they
he
call
won-
me
he won-
Mr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he
So
won
they
an
based
Oscar
the
for that
TV
role.
series off of, right? That movie.
Yeah.
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 So I
They
saw
call me
that
Mr.
one.
Tibbs. Hmm.
And then, so I started at 1927, and then I checked 37, 47, 57, 67, which was In the Heat of the Night, 77, 87. I went through all the sevens, right? Two of them I had already seen. Titanic was 97, and The Shape of Water was 2007. 2007 or 17? One of
I
those.
think that was 2007.
Seven, I
That
think.
was a while back.
17.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
seven.
I'm just looking for ones that I have available on one of my streaming services. So I'm skipping over ones that I can't actually watch.
So I was going to ask Mel, would you watch the silent movie on? What was that?
It was on like Freevee or something, or Tubi. It was one of the like
I got
free
a lot
ones.
of shit on there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched it on one of the freebie ones, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I had a fun time watching that movie. So after I got through all the sevens, I started with the eights, and it was the Broadway Melody, You Can't Take It With You, Hamlet from 1948. I did watch that one. Quite good. Very fun. Obviously, some really stellar actors in there that I could not tell you any of their names. Gigi was one. Oliver, the musical from 1968. The Deer Hunter from 78. I didn't get to see that.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
88 was Rain Man. So this was my first time watching Rain Man. I had never seen that movie.
Parts of Rain Man are shot in Cincinnati, by the way, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Rain Man was great. I remember going to the theater watching that.
One of our local restaurants when they did the toothpick scene, when he counts the toothpicks, that's at Pompilio's in Newport, Kentucky, and then the nursing home where Rain Man is actually in Kentucky as well. So they shot parts of it all through Cincinnati.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun movie to watch. Like I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I hadn't seen it before. And then Shakespeare in Love I had already seen. That was 98. 08 was Slumdog Millionaire. That's next on the list. So I have to watch Slumdog Millionaire.
You haven't seen that one at all?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my next one that I need to watch. But I like I said, they started at 1927, so I did all the sevens, whatever was available to me.
So I wasn't
paying extra for
that year. That was the best movie that year.
Yeah, and then I did all the eights. Whatever. Okay. And so after I watch Slumdog Millionaire, I'll go on to the nines and see what I find in there. But it's been kind of fun, kind of digging through the list of whatever I happen to have available. These are a lot of movies. I've never been a movie buff at all. Yeah. Like I'm not big on movies. I was a music person, not necessarily a movie person. And honestly, I would be happier watching cartoons any day to movies, because I have enough drama in my day-to-day life. I don't need to deal with somebody else's drama. Right. So
we used to watch movies all the time. We haven't probably for the last 10 years, just kind of hit and miss or whatever, but
yeah.
So now and again, we'll go through
spells. One of those people who had like a membership at the theater. Like she was one of those people who had a membership for the theater, so he would go and see like 3 movies a week kind of person. Yeah. So he married someone who was not a movie person, and it's like pulling teeth to get me to sit down for a movie because I'm thinking in my head, my gosh, I could get so much done in 3 hours instead of sitting and watching a movie. So it's really hard to get me to watch a movie.
Now, the weird thing about that is, like, I'm the person where we'll sit down and, like, let's watch a 3.5 hour movie. I'm like, no. Instead, we'll watch 5 hours of an episode and it's an hour long.
Yes.
So we sit there for 5 hours watching the exact same thing. Like,
I do that too.
Movie, I guess.
I'll be like, I can't sit for 2 hours. We turn on YouTube and I sit for 4. Like,
you're right, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Actually, I watched 3 hours today of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show from the 1980s. 3 hours. I was watching the awful cartoon show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know
from
if
the
it's that
80s.
good to watch 3 hours. though.
Yeah,
It was 3 hours.
The
I mean, it
remote
was
must have
on.
been
I was
way far on
playing
the
on
other
my
side of the
phone,
room on that one.
but I definitely watched 3 hours of the animated Mario show from the 80s. I couldn't help
Wow.
myself. I
Good for
found
you,
it
I
on
guess,
Freevee and I
maybe.
started watching.
It's me, a Mario. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
I just want to shout out Jason Kelsey, who eclipsed Taylor Swift and her fans by getting topless and drinking 40 Miller Lights, American Beers. Best NFL
Yes,
show
he
I've
did.
ever seen ever.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey, UC Bearcat. You know, I think him and both him and
Travis both.
Travis both played for UC back then. So yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this person's probably in debt now if they bought 40 Miller Lights.
no,
freaking
Jason
game.
Kelsey. He's the Eagles center. He was. He just retired.
Yeah,
He's
just
Travis
he
Kelsey's
can
brother.
afford it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wasn't counting on what his bank account was beforehand, but still 40 Miller Lights in a game? Are you fucking kidding me?
Miller Lights aren't a lot. He's a center.
Well, I mean, that's a bit
He's a
like
lineman.
$500 for 40 of them.
Lineman nothing.
At
Do you know
a
how much
game.
that costs at the
Maybe
game?
probably not for them. I would say.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. He
For us
probably got
local
it free.
folks, that'd be like $500.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Right.
an expensive drinking day right there.
Taylor
No,
probably.
what was
paid for
cool
it
about
all.
that was when he got out down, he was picking up all the kids, like taking pictures with them and stuff. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so, you know,
Don't have him pick up children when he's had 40 beers.
He's got that fun personality. You can see.
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah.
He does. Yeah. You can know that him and Travis are doing like WWE moves and they were kids in the house.
they're
busting
if
shit out.
you ever listen to their podcast, it's pretty
I've
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jason always has his wife on her all the time. She's pretty entertaining also.
But her mom's getting some pretty good commercial time on commercials now too. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. See if they make it to the Super Bowl. His brother, at least. If his brother wins another one, he'll have 3. And Jason's retiring. Like, at 6 years? He's retiring now. He won 1 Super Bowl with the Eagles, but you know,
I think he said he played there 13 years.
was it that long?
That's what I thought they said.
He said that, is he older than Travis then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think when they were at UC, he was a senior and Travis was maybe a freshman or sophomore or something. So he's a couple years older than he is. But hell, how long has Travis probably been in the league now? For 10 years, probably.
Yeah, Travis, I think it's like 31 or 32, probably. So you're probably right.
We'll see.
What's up, teamer? Still reserve is for bums. There you go.
I would agree. The Steel Reserve watermelon is the only drain pour I've ever had.
That's why they brown bag it with the Still Reserve. I mean, no anybody knowing they're drinking Still Reserve. Would you want anybody knowing you're drinking Still Reserve?
Nah. Keep that one a secret.
Oh, that is funny. This beer's going down pretty easy after not drinking for a bit, though. I'm about to get ahead of curve even more and get a third one here in a second.
No, it's only 8:30. You can't do it. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's 9:30. It's 8:30 on your time. Don't try to confuse me and Tom.
Oh, that's
and have us
true.
on your
There
next
you go.
hour.
Yeah. So I just Googled it, and it is. Yeah, he's played 13 years.
Okay. Well, he's got Super Bowl wins, so you know, nothing wrong with going in and retiring. But I didn't really get any beer news because the beer news I had last week, we didn't do a show. And I thought I still had the beer news for this week, but I guess I deleted it. Like, we didn't do it. It would have been like 2 weeks. It would have been kind of stale now. I mean, so if there's any beer news anybody wants to share, you can share it. But I didn't pull up anything in particular for it. He just irritates me for some reason. I think you're talking about Taylor, not Mal. I hope.
Because I adore you, Big Daddy Mojo, and I would be very sad if that was me.
Not anymore.
I'm sorry.
And Travis was drafted in 2013, so he's been 11 years now. So
Yeah. So if he came out like 21, he's 32 probably.
that makes sense then for 2 years apart. So
yeah. But I will say the Hot Bullet Magnum Edition, not a bad one to get if you get it out there while it's still available for limited release.
Right, I
Obviously, here in
started
Nevada, so always solid.
I grabbed that one to drink tonight, and I forgot to have these beers from last week. I was like, well, shit, I'll drink those instead. So
Have you drank this yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty smooth.
That's pretty good.
Better than a swift kick in the pants. Got it.
Definitely better than that. Nobody wants
Sure.
to kick in the pants. That's not good for anybody. But
Well, it depends on if you're not the one getting kicked or not.
well, that's yeah. I guess
If you're not
that's
getting
it.
kicked, a swift kick in the pants could be quite funny for you.
Yeah. But I told Todd I
That's
watched. Well, I used to. Todd, actually, I didn't tell him on Facebook. I posted it. So I watched we watched Knock at the Cabin a couple weeks ago, so that was interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, because it's always like every other film with him, pretty much. But it was pretty decent.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. But it's funny, I never finished the trilogy he put out. So I was telling her, like, he did the one with Bruce Willis,
Yeah.
but then he did Mr. Glass with Samuel Jackson, and then he just split with what's his name?
Split was weird. That was a good movie, but it was odd.
I forgot what the guy's name is. I want to say McElroy's Jim, something McElroy or something. But I was telling her, like, I was like, it's a trilogy. Like, she's like, what do you mean? Like, he did the first one, Unbreakable, then he did Shattered Glass, and then he did Split, and they're all three tied together. And she like didn't know either, so it's like now we want to see the other two. Yeah,
I would say most people probably don't really realize that, to be honest. Like,
well, they should have from Shattered Glass because it was still the Samuel L. Jackson character.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but
And I was gonna watch Nope because Nope is on either Netflix or Prime right now, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, Nope was the Aliens one, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's the one from Jordan
Yeah, I don't-
Peele. I haven't seen it yet.
I feel like it was Aliens.
know that it was as good as all the people were saying about it.
Yeah.
Like they were raving about it. I was like, it was okay. Like it was good, but I'm like old school in Shyamalan's like the
Oh,
old,
for Knock at the Cabin? Yeah.
you know.
It had a little bit of a, I guess you could say, the Village type feel to it, but
Yeah,
I
so
wasn't
The
a huge
Village,
I wasn't a huge fan
I
of the
thought
Village.
I
You
thought
like the
The
Village?
Great.
I actually enjoyed that movie. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the twist coming beforehand, but I really enjoyed it. While like I felt the acting was well done. I thought, they played off the storyline pretty well. So yeah, I felt good
Well,
about that.
Knock at the Cabin, I pretty much figured out who they were at the beginning when they came there, and I said it out. And then at the end, they
Yeah, I didn't see
admit
that
who
one.
they actually, who they admit at the end. They admit who they actually are, or she figures out who they actually are. But it's like, yeah, that was right there in the beginning. Like the writing wasn't that advanced that you couldn't tell from the beginning if you actually were kind of paying attention to it.
Right.
But the
Yeah.
first M. Night Shyamalan I saw was Signs.
Mm.
So
Signs was good though.
I
Mel.
love that
That,
one.
that was
Signs
good.
was really good.
That was a good one also.
But wasn't his first one at Dead People? Wasn't that M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah,
or
that was the first one.
That was
Was
the one
that
with
his?
Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, the first one I saw from him was Signs, and I grew up in Midwest, obviously. My front yard was a
Makes sense.
cornfield, and my backyard was a river. So when they had those noises through the baby monitor, the whatever noise it was that was
Yeah,
happening,
like the
I could-
screeching. Yeah.
I had the cornfield right outside my bedroom window, and then the trees would make those noises when the branches would rub together at night. It freaked me the hell out when I was a kid.
Oh, I bet that would.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking, if I look out that window, I'm going to see that thing walking by. Like in that little
Yeah.
picture from what they had the video from Mexico or whatever on the news, and it was like the thing walked by. Yeah, I was anticipating seeing that.
That was great. Like that scene
Yeah.
was so good. It's like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Then had the tinfoil hats or whatever.
Okay, the tinfoil hats was just funny.
no,
Sorry.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing, like usually his movies are kind of like
Ah.
serious.
Serious.
They get some funny part in
Oh.
it, for sure.
Oh,
He was.
thank you.
Oh,
Big Daddy.
you were missing. I didn't see the comment where you mentioned Jodie. I saw the other comment, but
Oh,
Jodie's pretty solid of an actress, though.
I mean, she's fine.
She's pretty
I know you're
good.
talking
Actually,
about-
she's pretty talented. I
You're
mean,
talking about her in the
I liked her when she was
True
14.
Detective.
She did
True
the Taxi Driver. I liked her in Taxi Driver, but I haven't really liked her in much else other than that. Contact was a little awkward. The Hannibal one, Hannibal Lecter, was that her?
Yeah, she was good in Silence of the Lambs.
yeah,
she,
Sounds of the
she was
Lambs.
okay in that, but I liked her in Taxi Driver. I liked her
And
when
then-
she was a kid
And
working.
then she
I
won
don't know.
she won the Oscar for The Accused, I think. She was
Yeah,
pretty good in there.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Was she in Safe Room? She was in Safe Room too, right?
Didn't see that either.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a pretty good career.
I think so. Yes, she was.
yeah,
in-
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You know,
most
everybody
people started figuring
shots-
out what movies I
shots all
haven't seen. I
around.
would be in trouble.
everybody's got their, favorites or non-favorites, I guess you could say. You know.
I told you I prefer animation because I don't have to think that hard. I have to
Well,
think
from it.
hard all the time, and movies make me think. And I'd rather just watch a cartoon and not think. It makes me happier. I use that as escapism. That's my escapism. That's
So
my
you
mini.
didn't think watching Heavy Metal.
I don't think I saw that one.
That was back in the 80s. You were too young for that. I thought
No. I
Yes.
know what heavy metal is. Don't you? You are too young for that, fucker. I listen to music older than you'll ever be. No, don't you give me that shit. I've been singing opera songs from the 1600s for years, so back the fuck up, Buster. Anyway,
And Joe would say, "That's a you problem."
so sick of you two saying I'm too young for shit. Are you kidding me?
I'm just
The
saying
internet
there's some
exists for a reason. I can see all the shit you've ever seen, ever.
there's some cartoons that
True.
definitely are more, cerebral.
I don't think I was as interested in seeing that heavy metal specifically because I wasn't a drug user.
You
And
didn't have
I
to be a
thought-
drug user to see Heavy Metal.
No, I no. So the whole fun point of heavy metal is if you are on
Joey
acid or
shows up.
shrooms.
Cheers, Joey. Joey comes in at the right time.
If you were on acid or shrooms, heavy metal was supposed to be a lot more interesting. And I was kind of like, oh, well, I'm not going to do those things. So I'm fine not watching it. Like, that was literally where my mindset went. This was during college. I had the option. I was like, nah, I'm just not interested. So it's the same reason I haven't listened to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon while watching Wizard of Oz, because I don't see the point, honestly.
Have you ever seen The Wall?
Yeah.
Pink Floyd? Have you seen it
Yeah.
where you weren't in the
Well, I
Tripping.
mental
don't.
state of mind?
Not
Alcohol,
tripping
and
is what he means to say.
alcohol and nicotine are the only things I touch. I don't do
Okay.
anything else. So yeah, when I saw it, I probably had a beer or two.
Okay.
But-
4 or 6. But who's counting?
No, that was when I was still in college. I was worried
Oh.
about my. I have alcoholism running in the family, so I was still scared to try liquor as much at that point.
Mm,
So
That's-
yeah. Yeah, I tried to watch The Wall sober one time and it just didn't make much sense as when I watched it before and I wasn't sober. It was like, oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
see,
Now we're
I
getting
count
somewhere.
that in the same camp as Sergeant Pepper's or Yellow Submarine or one of those. Like, I counted in that same camp, which is like,
So,
you know, like it's a little head trippy, but you're just like, okay, it's a thing. Or Train Spotting. I put Train Spotting in that group too.
great movie, Train Spotting. You didn't like it though? Because you didn't.
I actually
I
enjoyed
mean,
the movie.
I never did heroin, but I enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed the
Hey,
movie
right.
quite a bit. It scared me off from heroin forever, by the way, but I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. But I'm sorry, the baby crawling on the ceiling, not cool. Not cool, man. Fucking dead baby crawling across the ceiling. Nope, I'm out.
Would that be the part of the trippy episode that you're going through? So
Yeah, that was a little upsetting. Climbing out of the toilet, also not my favorite portion of the movie.
that's like an iconic scene from the
It
movie.
made
Yeah.
sense for what they were going through. And actually, along the same lines, that was Ewan McGregor. He did Velvet Goldmine. Did you see Velvet Goldmine?
I've never seen it, but I heard about that one. I never
So it
got
was
that.
like where he was the David Bowie, but not David Bowie. I mean, in essence, he was that character. Going through the music business at that time when that glam rock thing was coming out, and oh my gosh,
Cheers, Angie.
it was a trip. It really was. The movie was a trip without you having to be on stuff for it to be a trip.
Yeah. Well, I grew up, us being a Gen Xer. we grew up watching we grew up watching David Lynch shit too to kind of freak out your mind a little bit. Blue Velvet and stuff like that. So
Raj, you wouldn't know nothing about that, so
Yeah. Blue Velvet. Yeah. Don't you look at me. Don't look. I told you don't look at me. Yeah. That has some scenes in it. Well, you should have been around for Twin Peaks when it was on TV, but that's like the toned down David Lynch when he did Twin Peaks, which was still kind of freaky of a show, but in itself.
Didn't they come out with a remake or redo, whatever you want to call it, like the second version of it? Twin Peaks.
I don't know. I didn't hear about them coming. They may have,
seen it, but I think they did.
Was
like
there
maybe
a movie?
maybe.
Maybe they did a movie version of it, I guess. It was a TV show for a bit.
So there was a TV show. I don't know what the plot line of the TV show was, but I saw a movie that I thought was called Twin Peaks, and it was about these guys who were Siamese twins. They were connected at like the hip, and it was about them wanting to be separate. And
watching.
Yeah, that'd be something different, I think.
I think that must be a different thing because I didn't know what the Twin Peaks show was about, but I remember this movie that I thought was called Twin Peaks, and it was these two guys in Minnesota who were connected, Siamese twins connected, and the separation anxiety, and one of them died while the other was still alive, and it was very upsetting. So, yeah.
Arsenio on VHS tape.
Yeah. Twin Peaks. Let's see. There was a movie also, I believe. So TV series was only one.
Oh yeah, I ain't messing around. That's true.
Twin Peaks what? Just a long finger.
So 1990, 91, then Twin Peaks
I was a
again
music teacher. I got to play piano. I have to have that octave stretch.
To 2017, so it was one season. Then there was a movie also.
So they tried to bring it back, but that was such a 90s type thing or whatever. Like to bring it back now, I don't think it would.
It never lasted.
It apparently did. Yeah.
Either time, it never lasted.
Yeah. It's like if somebody tried to come out now with a Faces of Death movie, I mean, they would be getting such hate mail and shut it down for sure and stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you see those? Did you actually watch them?
I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X. Of course I watched them. We watched them at parties in the 80s. Yeah.
No, I
see if they had it in stock. Like, we're gonna get it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I definitely saw about 6 of the volumes. When I went to find them, they had like 12 volumes, and I saw
Blockbusters, the one the mom and pop shops, back.
Yeah, you couldn't go to Blockbuster. You had to go to one, and it was like usually in the back room of the curtain next to the pool.
Yes, exactly.
I found them at Family Video. I found them at Family Video.
I can't believe Family Video would actually have them. Yeah.
But so I saw about 6 of those, and yeah,
I didn't know there were 6. I only knew the 3.
Oh, there were
12.
There were 12 different volumes. I only saw about 6 of the 12. Whatever happened to be in stock when I went in, but yeah, we saw about I
didn't think there was that many either.
Yeah, there were a lot of them. It was a long running series of clips. It was.
It was the 80s. We have Benetton and we have Faces of Death. What do you want from us? That's what we did in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, that was problematic.
All those old rainbow Benetton ads from back in the day. Oh, that was the store. Everybody was going to that store too. Kids from the mall. Whatever happened? I mean, they went out of business, but I don't know why they ended up collapsing. I feel like they were ran pretty good for a while. Went the way to members only jackets. The Jordache jeans back in the day. First day of school, got some Jordache. Beat out Sassoon. Yeah, it was all about signatures and all that stuff back in the day. Shell top
Yeah,
Adidas, suede
we
Pumas.
we didn't
Like,
have the money for
you got
fancy
some buddies.
brands.
We're in some
Yeah.
buddies.
Yeah.
What do you mean buddies?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What do you mean buddies?
Bobos back in the day. Yeah. Yeah.
I got most of my clothes from resale shops. we we didn't do name brand shit. That wasn't
Yeah.
happening in my house. My sister got one pair of name brand jeans and she begged for them. She begged for
Yeah.
them, begged for them. I must have been about 5 years old. I remember her begging for weeks for these name brand jeans and she got them. And as soon
Yeah.
as she got them home, she took a set of keys and took at them and started like tearing all the holes, you know, like
Oh,
you're supposed to have all the
yeah.
holes. So she put all the holes in them and she wore them. And my dad lost his shit. Like he was screaming. Like, we just paid $80 for a pair of pants and you ripped them to shreds. Like, are you
They
kidding?
DoorDashed?
Like, I don't remember. I remember
Okay.
it was like the name brand, whatever
Yeah.
thing my sister needed at the time. If I was 5, she was 17. And this would have been 91, 90, right around
Oh.
there. But
So,
yeah,
I suppose
like,
after that.
it was she got grounded for a while after that one. Because
You
we
should-
didn't do name brand. That wasn't a thing we did in my house, so yeah, she got in some trouble.
Yeah. Try to get a couple name brand stuff where you can. I didn't always get all the name brand, but try to get that. And being a
Me
boy,
either.
the one thing is growing up as a boy too, you just definitely did not want to be back when the kids used to go to Sears back in the 70s and 80s for their pants. Don't be the kid getting the Huskies. You didn't want to get Huskies on your
That's
on your
what I'm
pants.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the
Never-
buddies, we're the buddies,
never-
like
never-
the
never-
kangaroo
never-
shoes.
Never had to wear Huskies. So it was
Husky's true. Husky's true. But once you got into like middle
Husky
school,
was
high
true.
school,
I had to wear Husky before.
once you got into middle
did.
school, high school,
When I was,
you
like,
had to
in
watch
fourth
out
grade,
if someone
but, you know.
showed up in Oshkosh.
Oh, the
Oshkosh,
Oshkosh.
gosh. So
Yeah.
once you got to middle school, if someone shows up in Oshkosh, they are ostracized. Are you kidding me? You can't be showing up to middle school with your Oshkosh. Are you
God,
kidding?
little
Mm-mm.
such kids that age are such dickheads, aren't they?
And
Oh
they-
yeah, kids are awful.
and the Buster Brown shoes. Yeah.
Buster
yeah.
Browns, yeah. God.
I remember I got my first pair of
Rob,
Doc
stop
Martens when I was in high
ruining my
school.
childhood. Huskies, Buster Browns, like I was total whatever. I was just a kid to get posterized.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, you know
remember
what-
when I got to high school, I got my first pair of Doc Martin shoes. I got
Oh,
Doc
Doc
Martin
Marten.
shoes
you were
when
the
I was
shit
in high
man.
school.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was
Brother.
so excited about them, and they were so comfortable. They were so comfortable.
I think
But as soon as I started wearing them, a lot of people started treating me differently at school because at that time, if you were wearing Doc Martens, you were obviously a lesbian. And so
Oh.
that was like a
Oh.
thing at my school. Like everyone
Yeah.
assumed I was gay because I was wearing Doc Marten shoes. And I just thought they were cute as fuck and super comfy. It was so upsetting.
so. My brother has a pair of Doc Martens that he had when he was in high school, and they
Yeah.
still look nice. Like he
Yeah.
actually still wears them from time to time. So
Good
several years
shoes,
ago-
man.
Several years ago, a kid was like, "Oh, I love your shoes. They're like retro." You know, it's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, I've had these things since I was, back in the '80s or whatever. Like they were, they're still the original ones. Like they're still nice. Like,
Yeah.
They were well
like,
made.
you know how much you could probably make of those if you tried to sell them, dated back from the time they were,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
remember.
well, that's like now. Everybody's like, oh, we're going down here to the vinyl store. The vinyl store. Yeah, they got these things you play the music. They're called records.
That's what.
No, they're vinyls. Like no,
No,
we
right.
had them. We had them before. They're called records. They're not. They're
Right,
out of.
it's
They're
funny you
made
say
out of
that.
vinyl. They're made out of vinyl, but they're records.
Our daughter.
All right, well, show me your
She goes,
Victrola.
"I want these." She's
Yeah.
like, "I want these vinyls," and Shannon said, "Vinyls? What do you mean vinyls?" She's like, "It has the music."
Records.
She's like, "You mean records?" Like, no, they're vinyls. I'm like, "No, we used to call them records." It had the
Yeah.
record player and everything. We had to buy for her a few years ago for Christmas. She
Yeah.
still has them. I'm like, vinyls, really? Come on.
It's like these guys I see walking around with a little pouch or whatever. Like, oh, it's a pouch. I'm like, no, it's a fanny pack. And we called it a fanny pack back in the day. They're like, no, it's like a little pouch. Kind of like, yeah, it's a fanny pack.
Yeah,
We had
you
them.
don't get caught dead wearing one.
You used to get your ass kicked when you wore those.
Yeah,
back
exactly.
in the day. Yeah.
So interesting story. World War II in Europe, when all the music was getting taken away, all the stuff that could be, anti-Hitler, all that was getting taken away. Musicians were still making records, but they were using X-rays, like the medical X-rays. They were dumpster diving at hospitals and taking the material they used for X-rays and creating records out of that material. I thought that was such a cool, like that, because those they were apparently originally printed on like a vinyl type material, and they could turn that into a record.
Innovative.
I know, right? I just love that. Music will persist. It doesn't matter what's going on. Music will persist. I truly believe it.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
When there's a will, there's a way.
I read it in I think a book called Middlesex, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
it was,
the middle. Okay. All right.
Well, Middlesex is a township close to London, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just.
It was actually. It was
Middlesex.
Story of,
we have Middlesex County. Yeah. Like money in the middle. Hey, Central Wooders pecan Pringle stout.
Oh, breaking out Christmas. See, I got Halloween. You got Christmas. Look at that.
Pecan or pecan, malt beverage aged in bourbon barrels with natural flavor. I have a review upcoming on this one too, but this is 12.3% ABV, and it is Central Wooders, which is a great brewery. I'm glad I can finally get their beers here, and very smooth, very tasty.
Yeah, they did some good stuff.
Yes, Angie remembers the Face of the Death. Yeah, we used to have parties and stuff when we sit there watching them.
Yeah,
it'd be like watching Face of Death in one room, playing Thumper in another.
Yeah, we used to get
another room doing quarters. Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein, no friend of mine. Don't want nobody's name on my behind. What song is that from? What song is that from, Todd? What song is that from?
Say it again.
Calvin Klein, no friend of mine. Don't want nobody's name on my behind.
Oh, God dang.
Come on. You supposed to be a hip hopper.
No, I know. I know what it is.
If I tell you, you're gonna really be mad. I told you.
No, I can see it. Okay, I can see it. But...
Run DMC.
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, I don't think so. That wasn't. I was thinking.
It's just like the SAT. It's like the SAT. If you don't know, gotta guess. Gotta guess.
Yes, I've been like, okay, I don't know this one, so I'd guess that one.
Yes,
right.
Tater remembers the monkey as well. Yeah, I think everybody kind of. The things I remember from Face of Death, I think everybody kind of remembers the monkey and the brains.
Oh yeah, the monkey.
The skydiver into the alligator.
Skydiving, yes.
The magician too.
Yeah, what was the magician one? Yeah.
The magician, he was laying on his back, and there was a candle eating through the rope, and there was a block with nails sticking down above his head.
I don't remember that one.
And when the candle burned through, he wasn't loose yet. And that was a bad one. And the plane crash with the limbs on the ground. The plane crash was upsetting too. There were a lot of upsetting ones, but everyone remembers the monkey. Why does everyone remember the monkey?
I think that's one I remember the most.
I think it's because it was the living animal they had to beat to death, and they ate the brains afterward. I think that's there was just so much involved with it, and
yeah.
And for us in the States, like it wasn't something we was like where they were shooting this from was a delicacy to do this.
Well, yeah, it was in a different country.
Yeah, but in our country, it's like something we had never really seen before to kind of do it like that raw.
Do you remember the lobster?
I remember the lobster. Was that in one of the other ones?
They had a sushi restaurant that they were in, and it must have been Japan or somewhere in Asia. I don't know the specifics, but they took the lobster out of the tank and they took it into the kitchen. And they peeled off the cover on the tail and they sliced it into 8 pieces and they brought it out to the table. And the lobster is still moving his claws and his legs and stuff while you're eating the tail. Like he's still alive while you're
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
chewing
for
on
real.
his meat. Like it's very upsetting. But yeah, I remember the lobster as being, the freshest sushi ever, but ew.
Yeah.
So
Lobster
yeah,
down, lobster down.
yeah. But
That's
like you
fresh
finished
one.
the whole tail before he stopped moving. He's still moving, like he's still
Yeah,
alive. And nope.
yeah, yeah.
I would
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't
them to
ruin,
be thoroughly dead before I eat them, please.
but it's fresh. It's fresh.
Well, yeah, but I can know it's fresh by seeing it before it goes in the kitchen and becomes not fresh anymore. I
Speaking of lobster, little lobster. Speaking of lobster, little trivia fact. You ever watch MASH back in the day?
Oh, my dad used
You-
to love MASH.
The guy that played Radar,
yeah.
you never saw his hands on camera. You know why?
No.
He had lobster hands.
I was saying,
Oh,
So
he did
it
the
was,
thing?
yeah. That's why you never saw his hands. If you ever watch MASH,
I didn't
you will
know
never
that.
see when his
MASH-
hands are always covered.
yes,
you never
I've
see his
heard
hands
it,
on
yes,
camera.
I've heard it,
Yeah.
Interesting. I had no
Yeah.
idea. Okay.
Yeah. So even when he hands the Colonel or Alan Alden and stuff, you never see his
Well, I
hand.
mean, he had to salute though. He did salute several times. I remember.
But he
Radar.
he has gloves on. For a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But I do remember him saluting. That was
Yeah.
because that was the thing he would always do. Like he was very follow the rules.
And
kind of
I
person.
guess if you're like that, you might be able to salute like that with your hand because you're not separating them too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, little unknown trivia fact out there for those of you that like to watch MASH. That was the
Mhm.
case. Next to the Fresh Prince, yeah.
Yep.
I would. I'd be like, yo, Will, remember your boy from back in the day? Throw some dollars my way, homie. Yeah, no.
I was about to say, your parents didn't send you to live with your auntie and uncle in Bel
Yeah.
Air, so
I did not go to Bel Air. Yeah, no. The
oh
Monkey
yeah,
was the worst. Yeah, Monkey
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
that was pretty bad.
Although they didn't shock him, it made me think of Peter Gabriel shocked the monkey for some reason just now.
Ah.
Which was another one of my great favorite videos to watch on the TV as we had those discussions before. And they're Angie from Tater. Don't you know you're going to shock the monkey? Still have Benetton Colors Cologne in my arsenal. What? It can't be good now, but it's now it's a collector's item, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, they used to have full page ads and stuff. Yeah, Buster Browns.
Buster Brown.
Go to the mall and get some new Buster Browns. They were cute when you were like 6 to 8, but when you got older, yeah, you couldn't be out there rocking them.
Yeah.
Big Daddy said, I grew up in Huskies. Yeah.
See, for the girls, it was those sweatsuits where the sweatpants and the sweatshirt that had like the kittens on it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
That
there
was-
were a lot of those going around my elementary school, but if you wore one to middle school, you would get shanghaied. Honestly, they would just string you out from the light pole outside. It was ridiculous.
What was that? That was what was that? Miss Kitty, pre that stuff. Yeah.
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 But I was the one riding to school in middle school on my dad's motorcycle, so I didn't have as much of that to worry about. The motorcycle gave me a pass on a lot of stuff.
Well, the motorcycle and the Doc Martens, yeah, they thought you were a lesbian.
Until high school. And Dad was driving the motorcycle when I was in middle school.
Oh, yeah, man.
I wasn't driving it.
Funny thing is, though, back in the day, growing up, one of the shows I used to watch as a kid was Facts of Life in the 80s. Joe used to ride a motorcycle. I never once thought Joe was a lesbian. I thought she was one of the hotter ones on there. So
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
yeah.
Again, I was getting dropped off at middle school by my father on his motorcycle. I'm in perspective. It's not my motorcycle. It was a little different.
Yeah.
But it gave me a
Records.
pass on a lot of the fashion things, at least.
Well, there you go. Everything has a silver lining to it, right?
Yeah. Why
Vinyls Records reboot. Yeah, it's just like it's so funny seeing it through the vinyls. Like it's this new thing. It's like everything old becomes new again at some point. That's how I feel about it. And we did the whole record type thing. Actually, I still got tons of records here. One of the people I work with, she was telling me the other day, she actually paints old records. So one of my guys I work with gave her some records too, and she paints over them and does stuff and different designs, and then she shows them, which is pretty cool.
Let's say every 20 years it comes back around again.
Yeah, right. Went to cat
Comes
school dressed like
out.
little Patrick Bateman, so we were chill for the
Patrick
most part. If you
Bateman?
got a reference, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a
Quite
movie I
cool.
have seen. I have seen American Psycho.
Yes, yeah, American
I have
Psycho.
seen
Oh,
that.
there you go.
He's got the
Hot.
hot bullet.
Todd's breaking out the Magnum, folks.
What is it with
Yeah.
you boys and trying to be Magnum?
Go big or go
Seriously?
home.
Trying.
Seriously.
I've already had the Magnum. We mean trying.
Brian.
Yeah, I went to cat school for the first 5.5 years because 6th grade we actually switched schools. But yeah, had the blue blue pants, blue vest, blue shirt, blue tie. Yeah.
So you
it's all
worked at Walmart?
uniform. Pretty much. Catholic school.
No,
Yeah,
Rob never went to Walmart.
You had the uniform for private school that you had to wear, and I guess there is something to that where you can kind of control the mind if everybody's kind of in the same type thing. Although, again, shoes would be the differentiator. So you couldn't have Buster Browns when you're in cat school now, but the shoes would definitely stand out. So,
Buster Browns.
come on, a fanny pack. Hey, oh. We're not trying to use that language here, Big Daddy. Come on, man.
Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
Big Daddy.
Because honestly, there is no gay person who would ever remotely consider wearing a fanny pack. So fuck your fag bag. Nah, that was the wrong terminology for that shit because they knew what the hell was going on with fashion. Just saying.
Radar had one lobster. Oh, it's just one. Okay, I thought
Oh.
both. So just one. Okay. I watched Match Daily. It's fun to try and catch the claw. You can catch it, he said. So he's been able to catch it on there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was a Mr. Spock fan.
Natural, Mr.
Maybe he was a Vulcan. We didn't know it. Just saying.
Possibly.
Could rock with the Buster Browns in double digits, but no, you could not. Once you hit 10, you better not have some Buster Browns on your feet. Oh, Buster Browns on that age will lead to busting ass. Yeah. You can still buy colors for Benetton?
Oh.
Oh, I had no idea. Many artist friends of mine have paint poured over albums. They make beautiful clocks. Oh, there you go. That's an idea. Yeah, the person I work with, she does it for kind of a design type thing. But yeah, clocks would be something you could do with them as well. But I'm like, what if you want to play the records? Not they're all painted over. You can't really do that. I'm like,
You can only play the
You
B
know.
side.
I mean, if you're giving them like,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
if you're giving the artist the old K-Tel stuff or something like that, you're not going to play the old K-Tel best of. Do you guys remember the K-Tel records? You probably don't even remember the K-Tel records.
I don't
The
know.
So you know how like back in the
Probably,
well,
but I don't know the name of it. I don't know K-Tel.
K-Tel was like back. They had a good run from like mid 70s up to early 80s, but they'd give you like the hottest tracks on like a double album record. So you'd have like a Jackson 5 hit.
It's like the best of, sort of.
and yeah, you like the best of. So when they would do like these different things, a lot of records were like one hit type things. Well, you would get the albums that have like 21 hits all in the double set album. So they were pretty popular back then,
I
right?
didn't know that was
You know?
the name of it. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know that
yeah.
was the name
So,
of it. Okay.
but nobody's really going back and using those as much. So those would be great to kind of paint over, I guess, if you're going to choose something to paint over. But it's like, I'm not giving you my Purple Rain album to paint over. I mean, that's Purple Rain.
No.
That's Prince.
Right,
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not giving you Pink Floyd. You know, I'm
No.
not giving you Kiss. I'm not giving you these other groups that are like, you know, Queen, whatever it may be. It's like, no, you can't paint over this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even those like the best of, like I wouldn't like, why would you want to paint over those? Like I want to hear the
Well,
songs,
even then,
you
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
go back in time, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, K-Tel back in. I should pull some of those out for a show one time to show you guys. Those are hilarious. Just some of the stuff you would get on. You know, you have Car Wash on there, or
That's what I'm saying.
Hotline. Yeah, you'd have all those.
No,
those like
I remember those. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was the name of them.
it's like
So, when
like
I-
Chic
when I
Freak
got
Out
into
would be
that,
on
it was-
one. Mm-hmm.
But by the time I got into that, it was cassettes, and you could order the cassettes on the infomercial on TV, and they would
Columbia
send
House.
it would have all the
For a
top
penny.
hits type music.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine was cassettes technically, but yeah, same idea. And then they have the now that's what I call music. The now,
Yeah.
Like that's what they did for a while, and of course now everything's online. But still,
You don't give an artist your favorite. Well, yeah, you
No.
couldn't give me your favorite, right? Yeah, but it's like, what else do you? What do you give them? Like just the ones that? Because I feel like you'd always want to go back and listen to something. So, okay, refill.
yep, refill time.
I'm just trying to think what would be the old one. Like if I had any of my records here to give up, I mean, it'd be tough for me to give up any of the records I have. I have some old ones that are just kind of more breakbeat type stuff from back in the 80s and stuff for hip hop and everything when we used to DJ. But even then, just like being able to go back and hear some of those tunes. But see, Andrew remembers K-Tel. Yeah. I had like different K-Tel records that are here and stuff that are just
I remember those, but I don't remember that being called that.
yeah, it's like because you got satellite radio. So if you're like on, I forgot what the channel is. It's what's Roxanne is like
She's on
LL
Rocky
LL
Bell.
channel's like 843 or something. What's the channel? Like is it
It's like 43. Yeah, 43.
43, something like that. But like if you keep going up the dial, you get to like 51 or 52, where it's like the old club type stuff. And there'd be like songs on there that were popular, like from disco going into like the 80s, where they didn't have a whole album. So it might be just a big hit they had. And K-Tel would grab all the different hits and they put them on
one-offs.
double album sets, right? And you would buy that and you'd be able to get the songs you like and stuff like Knock on Wood and things like that. And I Will Survive, some different stuff. So
Shantae's on it. She's freaking hilarious, though.
yeah. Yeah, she don't hold back.
No, that's for sure.
That's what all the dudes in my used to call fanny pack. Oh, I don't doubt that for sure, Big Daddy. Yeah.
Fanny
Back
pack.
then.
Fanny pack.
Yeah. We weren't PC in the 80s. We were nowhere near PC in the 80s. Well, yeah. I mean, it's even funny. Like even now, listening to some songs I listen to, you hear it and it's like, ooh, I wonder if that could be released today. Probably not, because of the whole way the climate is right now. But back then, it was stuff that was getting released that just happened to be accepted at that time. But it's like TV shows, like some of the TV shows that were actually done, like you wouldn't see on TV now, because people would get crazy.
Most of them wouldn't be shown on TV now.
Yeah.
What's the All in the Family? All in the Family had some really bad.
No, so I was gonna say, it's like
on.
that show would never exist today. When you watch that, like even like some of the Jeffersons, like
the Jeffersons too.
Well,
yeah,
they had.
Jeffersons, too.
It's funny because they had a show when I was watching a couple weekends ago. I don't know if it was CNN that were kind of doing a look back on stuff or one of them, but it was actually one of the Jefferson episodes. And it was an episode where George and Tom were in an argument or something like that. And George was like, he was calling them the H word basically. And he's like, Tom, don't call me that. He's like, what if I said, well, he's like, say what? And he said the N word. And like, you wouldn't see on the TV now for someone actually saying that.
Yeah.
But he just said it. And George and Weezy were like, you know.
George doesn't say like cracker and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
but it was, the thing about it was like an honest dialogue between these two characters, right?
yeah.
Like, don't call me this, because what if I called you that type thing?
Yeah.
So it wasn't being offended about the word as much as it was like, here's an open way to get through the wall that's been formed between us, where they would actually talk through it and it go. And so it's even on All in the Family, some of the moments in All in the Family kind of broke down that way. So it's kind of like
Norman Lear shows is like they were top notch. Like even
Did you know that the
it was
Jeffersons,
still-
before they were moving on up to the east side, the Jeffersons actually lived down the street from the Bunkers?
yeah.
Mikey Bunker?
That's where it started.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they started there,
Well-
and then the wife was on another show with the guy from Eastern Europe who came to live with his cousin. Perfect.
you talking
Strangers?
you know Perfect Strangers.
Yes,
Who was-
she ran the elevator in the newspaper office.
Well, that was later on now with Perfect Stranger, because that was in the 80s. Yeah.
But
When
yeah,
that came out,
that was
yeah.
the same woman though. That was like, she was still Jefferson. Like that was her name. Still, it was.
Well, the funny thing is,
It was a
so
borrowed character.
the whole thing around Norman Lear, as it's come out over the years, is basically All in the Family spun off. Maude is spun off. Good Times and
Yeah,
it's
they
spun
were
off
all-
the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff that came out, and this started coming out before Norman Miller actually just died recently, where he was basically, I've kind of changed my judgment has been changed of him because we find out he stole a lot of these stories from a lot of like other like the guy that played Lionel, the first Lionel on the Jeffersons, was really the one that created Good Times, but
Oh,
Norman Lear ended up stealing it from him.
okay.
And then he stole another thing from someone else, apparently, from what's been told, that ended up forming like the Jeffersons as well. So it's kind of like it's Hollywood though. There's some shadiness. There's always some shadiness, it seems, in
Yeah.
Hollywood. But anyway, the shows themselves were good being able to allow context and dialogue that where it may
That people
seem as
weren't
edgy
having.
as it is now, back then it was a way to open up communication between things.
Yeah, it was.
You know, as people are watching this in their living room, they were seeing this on their TV set, and
and now they can have
they
that
were-
conversation.
yeah, they were saying stuff on the show that a lot of people were thinking in their own head on stuff. So it's kind of like funny how that all played out. I mean, the whole thing, and like when Sammy Davis came on the All in the Family, if you ever saw that episode, the way it kind of played out, he knew that Archie was kind of a racist when he was on there, but Archie wanted to meet him because he was Sammy Davis. And at the end, he tells the guy to take a picture of him, and the guy takes a picture, he counts it down 1, 2, 3, and he kisses Archie on the cheek when he does it, and Archie's face just like drops. But it was kind of like playing this in, like we're all still people. Like he kissed you on the cheek, you didn't die, you didn't fade away, you didn't go
Right.
anywhere. It wasn't
Yeah.
like Smoking That Bear
No.
proof. You were still good.
No.
So it was kind of like it just opened up more conversations. A lot
Smoking
of
the
stuff
Bear
to
proof.
kind of move forward. Yeah, got what I was doing there. Yeah, I was doing that just for you. So you had things that actually helped to have conversations to move things forward. It wasn't just
Well, the first
being
interracial
shocked by
kiss
seeing it.
was
Star Trek.
the first interracial kiss was Captain Kirk and Uhura
Right.
on Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
interracial kiss on television was them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it blew people's minds. Like people didn't know
Yeah.
how to remotely handle that. Like, and I'm thinking,
Well,
you
kids
know,
even-
slavery. But yeah, no, that happened. Are you kidding? That happened a lot.
Oh, it happened a lot.
Relax. It's fine.
Thomas Jefferson, we know about that. So anyway, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's like you mentioned earlier, like in the heat of the night, but before the heat of the night, Sidney Poitier had Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And even though he was dating his white woman, they couldn't have them kiss at all in the movie when they were making it, right?
Yeah.
Because America wasn't ready for that or whatever. So,
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
I
the
will
big thing
say,
about
Night-
Guess Who's Coming, I mean, the heat of the night that you just watched is when he got slapped and he slapped the white person back.
and he slapped him back. And everyone
that-
freaked
That sent shockwaves through the country when they saw that in the
It
movie
did.
theater. Yeah.
because he slapped him back. No, you're gonna slap me? I slap you right back. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me right now? No, and I loved that. It was beautiful. But yeah, that movie made me so angry on so many levels. And this is part of why I don't watch movies because I get too invested. I wear out my emotions watching movies because I get right in there. I do. And that movie made me so angry for him because they were like half the time saying, just leave, you're causing all this trouble in town. But at the same time, they're like, well, we kind of need your help though. You can't tell me to get the fuck out and then say you need my help. No, are you kidding me? That is not how that works. Like, I
Yeah.
got so angry at the whole thing. Like, it was chase him away, keep him, chase him away, keep him. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Make up your damn minds. He's solving the thing. Let him solve the thing. Like, what the hell? Oh, sorry. I'm okay. This is why I don't watch movies. I get very invested.
But see, that's what the movie wants you to do. It wants to pull you
Well, I
in. So it
know,
definitely
but-
worked. Yeah.
But all of this emotional buildup, it's too much. I have
Yeah.
enough shit going on a day-to-day basis to deal with regularly that I can get this worked up about. But now I'm spending precious energy getting worked up over a thing that isn't real. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I doing this? Why am I letting myself? So I watch things like Labyrinth, and I
Well,
watch
it's-
things like Muppet Christmas Carol, and I watch easy things because it's
Well, it's
just
funny.
too much.
One of the most interesting for me from watching the Jeffersons growing up, one of the most interesting shows that I saw that still sticks with me to this day, that I still, when I just see like a thing on a clip when I end up watching it, there was an episode of the Jeffersons when George was invited to go to a meeting and he went there with Tom. They didn't know the meeting ended up being like a Klan type meeting thing. And so, because George was a successful businessman, so they just knew by his business, they knew he was making his money. He was invited in. And then when he got there, well, ended up happening, one of the guy in charge actually ended up choking on something, or something was going on with him. He couldn't breathe. And the guy was pretty much dying. And so George ended up saving him, basically doing CPR and stuff, and brought him back. And the EMTs were there taking him out of the car. And he's like, what happened? Like, he said, that gentleman saved your life or whatever. And looked over and it was George that had saved his life. And he tells him, you should have just let me die.
Oh.
And like his kid was with him, and his kid had like ideas of, you know, the whole racism type thing. But then after he saw George save his life, like the kid afterward apologized to George and felt bad and ended up turning the corner of not going to try to be that way going forward type thing. Right. So it was one of those things when you had that episode again, when they would hit you at the end, it would be like, and it would go out and it'd be like, it would hit you in a commentary thing. And then that led, I'm sure, to discussions in people's households and stuff. And that was just like,
I'm sure it did.
It was like, it was more thinking type sitcoms that took place back in the 70s compared to now. So,
all right, I'm going to interrupt with a beer update. So I have here Texas's oldest craft brewery, St. Arnold Brewing.
Yeah.
Art Car IPA. Chu has made friends with a gentleman named Tim, who comes to Chicago twice a year to work, but he's from Houston, Texas. And this time when he came, because he's known Chu for a while, he actually brought Chu beer from St. Arnold.
Nice.
To gift to him, which was very, very
shout out to him bringing beer.
So,
yeah.
Shout out to him and his beer from Houston. But I am having an IPA now, so.
I've heard a lot of good things about that brewery.
Our boy Drunken one used to love that one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's probably where I heard it from, actually.
Yeah, Chu and I got to go to St. Arnold when we were in Houston last, and it was really nice. I don't recommend walking there. Please don't walk there. Because you walk through some areas that are questionable. But yeah, if you've got a car or if you have a ride, please go visit St. Arnold's. Because first of all, their outdoor space, gorgeous. It's covered like a proper roof, but it's like you're outdoors still, and it's beautiful. They do a really nice job. The beer is excellent, so highly recommended to check out St. Arnold in Houston, Texas. Cheers, everyone.
St. Arnold.
But St. Arnold is the patron saint of brewing. Which, by the way, there is a Catholic patron saint of brewing. Just saying. Throwing that out there.
We need one.
Beer's damn important, man. It doesn't matter who you are, what religion you're from. The beer's damn important.
Right. Today's climate is really ridiculous, and pointing out every little thing makes shit worse. Like Jefferson and Bunker was friendly, Banner really in my eyes. Well, it was like some educational type stuff that took place there too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was providing perspectives that some people, you know, it was different in the 70s and 80s. I mean, it's kind of like I grew up in Jersey, and we were kind of in our school. It was, I want to say probably like 60-40 or whatever. So it was like when I ended up going to like 7th grade up, like it was mixed. So you'd have like some of the parents didn't like it, but in school, like you'd have people black and white dating each other. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it was happening there, but it's like, you know, depending on how the parents were, kind of determined if it would go any further type. Like there was some that had hidden relationships, and there were some that parents were cool with it, you know.
Right. But it wasn't just that either. I mean, honestly, the Bunkers did a whole episode on draft dodging. And the daughter brought home a guy who was a draft dodger. He went to Canada so that he didn't have to go fight. And Archie's reaction to that and how they came to terms for it. Like it's not just race relations. Like they actually tackled a lot of things.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh,
in
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
different ways
It's everything.
to
Yeah.
show how we can still move forward and still be human together, regardless
Yeah.
of whether we have different views on things. I mean, Chu
Yeah.
and I will never vote the same ever, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't have to, hate him because he votes different than me. It's okay. Like, it's all right. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, his shows were about opening discussions up because it wasn't even just what he was doing. He had a lot of stuff like on MASH that opened up a lot of discussions for people. You had other stuff on other shows that were doing things too. It was just back
Mhm.
then. It was more. I would say it was more intelligent writing because there's some good writing on stuff now. Like if you watch
Yeah.
some of the shows now, it's harder to find. Like you can watch stuff like the Last of Us series that has some really good writing, but if you don't have HBO,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not really seeing it, right? So you're not
Right.
seeing that one. The main network stuff, a lot of that has some dumbed down type things, but there's some that you can kind of pick up here and there. But it was just a different type thing. It was just like the only way you could actually address stuff was to actually discuss that stuff. And even stuff like Family Matters, they had a lot of stuff on there. Fresh Prince
yeah, for
of
sure.
Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air would cover
Yeah.
different stuff,
For
that came up. So it was just a time where TV would tackle a lot of issues and open up a lot of communication between things. And it's almost like nowadays it's regular. I don't watch regular network TV as much because it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like all the well-written stuff that's going to pull me in, or like on Netflix or Amazon or HBO, or it's like occasionally I get something like I like watching like Fargo, like something like that has some pretty good writing on it, or something like that. And that like Friends isn't going to capture me to watch something like that type of show, Although it may have meaning for people, it's just all a matter of what you're
Yeah.
looking to connect on, I guess.
There's
a
the
lot of the streaming stuff that I watch now, it's kind of gender and race reduced. Like they don't like talk about the fact that there's gender and race issues. It's just like they've tried to circumnavigate it by having all of the genders and races available. So I mean, a lot of the things have just kind of everybody, and it's like, okay, everybody's there.
Well, I think there's different thoughts. I think so. One thought is put everybody in and don't talk about it, because you don't talk about it and it's not going to exist type thing. But another one is you got to talk about it, otherwise you're never going to address it. It keeps getting swept under the rug type. So it's different mentalities and thoughts that are behind some of the shows that are taking place. And it's kind of like I'll watch some shows and stuff, and you'll see something, and it's from looking at it from my eyes, watching something, and it's just like, oh, there's no way that would happen. Like, there's no way you get me or anybody that looks like me out in the woods in this type of situation. Because we just know, like, we've been told from a young age not to do some type of things. And it's like, there's no way this makes sense. Like, when I saw Get Out, I'm like, there's no, like, I would be the guy on the phone talking to the guy. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't go out there. Like, we've all been trained to not be in that kind of situation, to make sure you're careful and stuff, right? So I can understand the part of him as a friend calling in, and I could the guy that was actually caught up in the middle of everything, that was kind of like just going along like, oh, okay, I guess I can deal with that, blah, blah, blah type thing. So just interesting. But back then it was like, it was almost kind of refreshing. You almost would feel kind of a little bit exhausted. So like, it's supposed to be a comedy type show, but then you're like exhausted at the end, because it's like they'd have these like part 1 of part 2, and you're like drained. Like, you got to hope part 2 comes back and it's better, right? So yeah. But let's see here. Trez says, cheers. Welcome, Trez. Appreciate you, my friend, as always. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, it's great to be back up and rolling for sure. Mal, if you want a fun old Jack Nicholson rom-com track, Carnal Knowledge, it's so fun. I see what you did there, Evan. Have you seen it now?
I have not seen it, but your reaction and Todd's reaction tells me that maybe I would have trouble with that one.
It's a classic film. You should check it out. That's all I'm going to say. Carnal Knowledge, yeah.
So I will IMDb that before I ever come near it,
Knowledge.
just so you know.
Jack Nicholson is solid in there, yeah. I forgot who the actress was with him in there too, but
Well,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson. When I think Jack Nicholson rom-com, I think of the one with Helen Hunt, the "As You Like It," or no,
that
not
was-
"As You Like It."
Yeah.
As good as it gets.
As
As
the
Good as
best
It
I can
Gets.
be, or
As
Yeah,
good
no,
as it
how
gets.
was-
As good as it. As good as it. As good as it
Yeah.
gets. Todd said.
"As Good as It Gets." That was it.
Yeah. No, this one is a little different than
As
that.
You Like
but,
It is a Shakespeare. That's different.
understand
Yeah,
this was
As You
done.
Like
This,
It was Shakespeare.
I understand this was done in the 70s, and in the 70s, it's like we had a little bit more leeway. Like our R movies had a little bit more than what you see in our movies nowadays. Just like the PGs have more than the PGs you see nowadays.
That is
like,
true.
yeah.
Well, I will only watch it if I have it available to me. So it depends on
Yeah.
what my movie streaming services have.
Yeah, Trez. See, Trez remembers that Jefferson episode I was mentioning. It's like one of those ones that stood out, especially,
Right.
you know, for us being black. It's kind of like one of those things that kind of like he did everything he did to try to help this guy out. The guy still wished he'd rather be dead than having him help him. You know, so it was
Yeah.
kind of an interesting type view on it.
It's horrible.
No, I was arguing when I was a kid. I just looked at two guys fighting, and it was funny. Never looked at it as a racial thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, and again, it goes back to what your thing was, and depending where
It's
you're
true.
at, you may
It's
not
true.
seen it as that way. Because if you grew up in a community where you had different groups all together, you may have just seen this two guys arguing. Like I grew up in Jersey, and you know, we'd have black and white mixed together, Spanish as well, and you would just maybe see it like that way when you're looking at your through your eyes, and then if you were kind of from a part where you were separated, as they say, by the tracks, other side of the tracks type thing, you might have seen where it was more of that racial overtone on stuff. Some of the
So-
stuff with the Archie character was almost a racial thing out of ignorance, just because he didn't. That's because he didn't know he was really being racial on some stuff. And then with George, it was more of the racial stuff because of the intolerance of the racial stuff that had been shown to him through the years. So all that, it was a different view on how it all came across.
So I grew up in a town of 2,000, Midwest, and we got our, to my knowledge, again, my knowledge is only this many years, but to my knowledge, we got our first Black family when I was a senior in high school. And it wasn't something that was discussed. I guess race wasn't discussed at all because we were all Caucasian, a couple Native American, but very few. So it didn't even come up at all. And I remember the episode where Archie and George were fighting. And for me, I just thought it was grown-ups doing their thing. So I put them into groups, but I put them into the adult group because I was a kid group,
Yeah.
And I didn't really think much of it at the time. Later on, I watched it again and I was like, oh, wow, that was a little more intense than I actually knew about. But, it wasn't something that I was subjected to until much later, until I got out of that small town.
Yeah.
And then I lived 3 years in a place where I was a minority. And that opened my eyes a lot. Being the minority was something I hadn't experienced before. And I'm really glad that I did it. And I'm glad that I went through some of the less than stellar situations that I went through in that situation. But I'm glad that I saw them and felt them because it gave me a wider perspective on how the world works and how just because you grew up in a place doesn't mean the whole world is that way.
Right.
And I learned a lot living in a place where I was a minority. It was a whole new world, honestly, to be treated in such a different manner, and it gave me a different perspective on a lot of things. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm probably sure I still F up and upset some people sometimes, but I really, really try not to upset people as far as that goes, to make anyone feel less than the amazing human being that they are. Because every single human is an amazing human being. They can be a Karen, they can be old, they can be young, they can be black, they can be white, they can be any color, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the ability to be an amazing human being, and I'm going to try to treat people as best as I can when I can. So, yeah, I highly recommend for people to live outside of their comfort zone at least once. It makes a huge difference.
Well, it gives you perspective. It opens
It really
your eyes.
does.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
not a
they-
perfect perspective. I haven't had, generations beating down on me. That is true.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
female, you could argue the women thing, but
Yeah.
it's not the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In some ways, I don't know. It gets.
I
very-
mean, it's there's definitely some stuff there, but it's more limited. It's women, like I was like, because again, I gotta mention one of my favorite shows, like the food that build America, the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. So I watched one of the episodes, and I think it was Mrs. Smith that was doing it. It was either Mrs. Smith or Ennemans. It was one of the women that were doing it, but like women couldn't even have credit cards
Mm-mm.
into the
weren't allowed.
mid 80s. Think about that.
Yeah.
Not
It
allowed.
was basically just 40 years ago when women got the right to actually have their own financial independence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's some crazy stuff that happened, but like the Big Daddy's Play. No, I mean Archie definitely did some stuff, but the thing is, it's almost like if you could in Archie's character, he was raised from that. You could tell like from a kid
Yeah.
coming up. So when I say ignorance, it's basically he doesn't know any better. That's just what he
But-
knows.
But
And
he
that's how he
showed
responds.
the capability to learn.
He
did
showed that,
show the
and that was
capability
the
to learn.
And that was the thing with the episodes. He was able
Yeah.
to actually be able to pick up stuff and then look to learn to try
Yeah.
to be better on things. So
And if a human
Um,
can learn, they can improve. It's, I mean, they can be an awful human being to start, but if they can learn, progress can be made.
I mean, they have to choose. They have to choose to
They have to
want to
choose
do
it.
it.
That's
But
true.
that's like one of the things I like about the Clint Eastwood movie Gran Turismo, because basically he's kind of in that position,
I know, right?
but
Yeah.
through the learning and stuff that takes place, he starts to change, even though he's like
Yeah.
78 years old or whatever in the movie.
Mhm.
He's learning how to start to adapt. So that's where it kind of comes into like this whole change up, that pulls you into the movie as far as the storytelling thing, like the whole you're never too old to actually change up your routine and look to be a better person type thing. So
Yeah.
and even though like the young neighbor next to them, like the family, all of them like just like want her to give up on this guy, she sticks with it and
Mhm.
invites him into stuff and starts to change his mold and attitude on
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
so
And that makes a huge difference. It's
Yeah.
we have to reach out with love, even if love isn't coming our way. And eventually, people will start to see that there's a different way to look at the world.
Yeah.
If you're reaching out with batons and, gunfire and gas, you're not reaching out with love. They ain't going to learn shit from that.
No.
It's
That's the
about
thing.
making connections. Connections make the difference, and it's necessary because honestly, there's a lot of groups that are not as
Well, yeah.
on, and it's
I tell people if you ever want to look at the basic human connection, don't look at adults, look at children.
agreed.
Because when
100%.
children are young and coming out, they don't care anything about that. Everybody's their friend. It's just like the basic thing. And what ends up happening down the line, someone constructs something different to change their mind and attitudes, where you start
I
to
know.
build these walls and all that kind of stuff. But
And it's
in a
terrible.
true natural state, you're not going to find it more than when children are younger, growing up and connecting with everybody around them. And it's a shame because depending on who might be raising that child can change how that child will see things down the line.
I know.
But given the opportunity for that child to react in a positive way to things, it'd be a totally different outlook on stuff. So.
Yeah. But that comes to not just teaching the kids. You have to teach the people who are going to have the kids. You have to teach the people who are going to be training the future of the country. You have to teach the people who have the children. I mean, people
Yeah.
should be taught how to be a parent. Honestly, it's the only job that you don't get proper training for. Like,
Yeah.
how is there no
True.
training for
That's true.
parenting?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
There's training
manual.
on every other. I train my waitresses to bus tables. I train them how to bus a table. No one trains people how to raise a child.
No, but you learn
Like,
from your
Well,
experience.
you learn from
It's-
experience.
it's-
If
It's on
you have
it's on the job training.
problematic views on how to, just accept other people, you're training that into your kids. You do.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you're not wrong. I'm just saying you raise your kids as you were raised growing up.
Exactly. That is true.
Yeah,
That is true.
but you have, you can change along the way too,
You can.
and
And-
you try to instill it in your child of being opposite of what it was maybe growing up or what what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
to be different of what it was. What'd you say, Shannon?
Said hate is taught.
Hate is taught, yes, for sure.
But you're talking about your experience as a parent, having raised children to be open-minded and to, see the world and to make their decisions. Not every parent trains their children
No,
to
no,
be able to
no,
make decisions.
No, you're
That's
right.
the problem.
No, you're right.
You
I'm
have
just
to
saying-
raise children to be able to problem solve, to be able to find their way through situations that are unknown to them.
No,
And
you're right.
training that is so hard, and that should be something that parents are taught.
And that's
They
kind of
just
what
train them how to solve a problem. Like,
that's
like-
kind of what we do with our daughters. Like
He is, Brandon. She's
Kinda
speaking facts. You're right.
raise
Yeah.
no, you are
Here to
correct.
help you, but-
You raise them correctly. You raise them to be able to be self-sufficient and to be able to, do their own laundry and to be able to cook for themselves and
I
to be
mean-
able to handle going out to a restaurant on their
Our
own
daughter's
or to be,
Yeah.
you
I
train
mean, I
them
don't-
to do
basically
good things.
cooked and done their own
But not
laundry.
everybody does.
10 years old.
I mean, I don't have kids, but if I did, I'd be like, yeah, that's something we could use more critical thinking in the world because seeing some people doing
Yes.
stuff, it's just like, why? How does that even happen? I mean, literally, like I put a thing on my Facebook thing, and I don't know if you saw it or not, Todd, but it was kind of like I was actually kind of being serious. Like I literally had ordered DoorDash, and this guy was supposed to deliver food. He literally went on the block like 4 times because he couldn't figure out the belt. He calls the wife. He's like, "Are you guys at the hotel?" Like, no, we're the building across. You got the address, or you got the address on your phone. You got the
right.
address there.
Yes.
Yep.
If you pull it up, it'll show the building. It'll say the name of our
Yeah.
apartments right there. How are you
Yeah.
not finding it? She sends me a message. He's going around the block again. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like
In
critical
the
skills
meantime,
are
your
at
food's
such a
being
low.
cold.
Common
Exactly.
sense and critical skills are not taught in schools. We are taught history, we're taught English. Both of those are very important. We're taught other languages, we're taught
Don't forget
math,
trig.
we're taught science, and all
Yeah,
of
right,
those
true.
things are
Yeah, true.
important.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to look at a situation and go, I have this option, and this option. If I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, and this will happen. If I do this, and this will happen. I am choosing to choose this. Critical thinking is so important. And so many people don't have that skill because it's not taught in schools. It's only taught by life.
Yeah.
Can we work
That's
on
true.
Can we make this taught? Like, how do you teach that? Like it's killing me. It's killing me because I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 7 years. I now work with the public. I've worked in customer service and public relations for many, many years now. I've done management. I've done the lowest of the low. I've done all the levels. Critical thinking skills are not strong in
No.
most, and it's not just here. Other countries, I've traveled to other countries. I've been other places. Critical thinking skills are not automatic. They have to be taught.
I'm on the same
Can
line.
we work on this? Is this a thing that can improve?
Gen Z sucks at
Why do
math,
you
man.
have
It's-
trigonometry? How about teach us how to
Well, I was
make
like,
loan-
things.
pay off our loans and buy a house, buy a car, like the things you do in life. Like, who needs trigonometry unless you're going to
Yeah,
Well,
balance a
it's-
checkbook. Like, understand what's in your accounts.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about like in the past. It's kind of like you go to school. Like for me, when I went to school, I had like trig, I had calculus, I had programming and computer, I had different stuff, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
I was kind of put on that track for the college type track, but everybody's going to go to college type stuff. And even if I wasn't going to college, it would have been nice to have a class in there. I mean, I did take accounting, but you had to take it as an elective. But it
Yeah.
should be it should be a
Yeah.
basic financial class. Not
It
everybody's going to
should.
graduate
It
school.
should.
There should be a class that's financial, about balancing checkbook, how to do a mortgage, how to maybe start a business, how you do different type of things
The taxes. Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
don't teach you, so that you can actually strengthen yourself. If you don't go to college, you can start your own business. There's a lot of stuff you can come out.
Like the
go to-
everyday life.
Trick though, you can look at the financial, you can look at the taxes, you can look at all the things, but don't tell them step by step how to do their taxes. Tell them when you're worried about accomplishing your taxes, here is how you look up the help that you need. And you were complaining about the English teachers that made you pull up the dictionary. I agree with you. That was kind of a pain. But if you think back and like, okay, someone has to do their taxes for the first time. They've never done them before. They don't even know where to turn. They don't know what website to go to. They don't know
Right.
how to hire a tax professional. They don't know. Teach people how to find the help that they need. Teach people how to, problem solve the situation. Even if you are not capable of taking in the information and solving the issue yourself, you have to know where to turn. If I have a flat tire, I can change it. If I have a battery to change, I can do that. But if I have something wrong with the timing on my car, I can't fix that. I can't do the alignment on my car. I have to know who to call to get help with that situation. It should be the same for everything.
Right. Well, I mean, it's teaching them
Being
about the
able to
resources.
find those
Yeah.
places.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a thing to teaching them about resources and how to find the answers and stuff they need, but there's basic life skills that should be taught, right? It's kind of like
It's true. It's true.
when you were 7th grade or whatever, like when I went to school, 7th grade, 8th grade, you could choose, I think it was 7th, you chose industrial arts, or you chose home ec, right? So
I
8th
chose
grade, you
both.
could do the same thing. Well, you could do both, right? Which is great if you
I
could do
chose
both. But think back then, it's kind of like, well, you did home ec, you could learn how to prepare meals for yourself, right? Or if you did industrial arts, you could learn how to wire a room or know kind of things around machinery. And then maybe when we get to high school, you start saying, well, I'm going to go the trade pathway, right? And doing the trade type stuff. Now in schools, from what I understand, they don't even have these things out there, or they're optional. So you're not even getting a chance to even teach people the basic type skills on stuff. But you should have had something where it goes into a class on how to run your household type thing, whatever you put it under, any
Right.
type of financial type
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
knowing how
How
to
to
take out,
budget.
knowing how to
I mean,
budget,
just
knowing how
how
to
to
take out a
budget.
home loan, how to take out a car loan, how to actually do
Yes.
things, how to invest. There should be
Every
something like
aspect
that in
of
the high
life.
school level, right?
Yes.
Now, if you're in an AP class, you'll get stuff maybe thrown your way like that, where you're under accounting and you can kind of do stuff along those lines. But that should be something for everybody on just financial basic understanding, because
Yes.
again, not
Yeah.
everybody's going to college.
Yes.
And so when you leave high school, you should be able to know how
Yeah.
to manage yourself to be successful going forward.
The everythings of life, like you said, not everybody's going to college, so
It's true.
shouldn't
And everybody
be,
doesn't need to go to college, really, though, too.
no,
Yeah.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like the kids that going to college. They should know, like, you're gonna learn that shit along the way. Like, they don't need that. Like, no, educate everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I've got
And pay
friends I know
everybody
that
as if they were not going to college or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I've
everyday
had friends
life.
knowing people that have had great lifestyles, not going to college and making a lot more, doing like coming out of trade school type stuff, and then
Oh,
also
yeah.
being better off and not being in debt with loans and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Well, now
So-
now it's kind of a dying breed. Like the trade school things, like kind of dying off because everybody's going to college and doing other things.
Well, I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to bring back more of the trade stuff now, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that they're realizing
like
it.
the plumbers, electricians, and stuff like that. Like that's
Carpenters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's necessary.
Well, that all goes back into not to get off on all political type tangent, although we've been there for a bit, but they all go. I blame that going back into the '90s when everything got kind of pushed into us being more of a becoming trying to be a college educated nation rather than we started outsourcing everything and we got away from trades type stuff. So it was like we started closing trade schools and all that kind, and so it kind of killed us in that regard. And then everybody's like, everything you go to buy is like pick up something you have in your house and it doesn't say made in China on the back of it. It's hard. It's hard to find stuff that isn't like even when like you think you order something through Ace Hardware, you look at it, it's like, oh, made in China, but it's just being sold through Ace Hardware, right? So we went from a creating country to an outsourcing country, and that's what came back to bite us in the ass later on. So yeah,
agreed, for sure.
But I digress as I drink the beer. The beer is so good. It's nice to be back. Nice to be back with the beer.
You sound like Tom the Brewer Whisperer. I digress.
Oh, I digress. I know, right? Yeah, I was on Tom's show. I know you told me you saw us when I was on Tom's show a few weeks ago. That was fun doing Tom's thing. So yeah, it's
Tom's a guy like you kind of grain of salt, whatever. But I like Tom.
Yeah, no, Tom's an awesome guy. He gets energy. I love his energy. He's very energetic. He's very dedicated. He's very like passionate about stuff, which is what I always enjoy.
Oh yes.
Too. And again, it's like we talk about stuff back in the 70s. Like Tom is a throwback. Like Tom's just going to tell you what he feels, and that's going to be the end of it, which is great.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. I'm from Jersey. That's how we talk in Jersey. It's like, tell me what you were telling me. Stop wasting my time beating around the bush. So I love that about Tom.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It is what it is. This is the way it is. You like it or you don't.
It makes things so much easier. It's like, cut all the bullshit. I love it.
It's like, you're on my side or everybody else's side. Doesn't matter.
Right. Big Daddy says, everyone needs outlets, electrician. Teslas are a big, yeah. Well, let's talk about Teslas, right? How about that? How pissed would you be if you were a Tesla owner last week when all the Teslas were like shutting down because it was too cold and the engines wouldn't start?
I saw that.
I mean, it happened. Like all the Teslas were like not working, and people were like pissed off with electric cars, and I'm sure they blew up the customer service line.
Slow charging.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Gas guzzlers driving by. What seems to be the problem over there, Bob?
Today I drove. Tesla put them next to me. I couldn't help but to laugh my inside. I was like, oh, you poor soul. It's like, did you have this problem last week? Are you sure? Was you able to drive or no?
It's like, I don't have this issue with gas. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you got to call AAA. I don't know what else you can do right now.
Right. Oh, so what do they do? Does AAA do anything for that? Like,
they're like, AAA is like, find a charger. Find a charger and wait.
Does anyone know?
You gotta drive 45 miles from here to get charged. So,
does anyone know someone who owns a Tesla? You guys?
Personally,
sadly enough, I do.
So my question becomes: when shit like that goes down, does the whole windscreen turn blue and have like an error message? Because that would be really funny.
I don't know.
Can they have blue screen of death on the windshield of a Tesla? Is blue screen of death a thing on the Tesla? Because it needs to be.
I thought
blue screen of death means you got to call somebody.
I thought when it was cold and it turned blue, it served you Coors. Is that not the case with Teslas?
No. No, blue screen of death. It's the Windows like end of the world. Like as soon as you get blue screen of death, life is finished.
So when he showed us this Tesla, he was all about the bells and whistles of like, look, the windows were all up and down by itself and plays this music and shit. Like, so we'll get you where you want to go. So there's this big tablet inside. It's like, what tells me where to go to the next place for, to charge up. 70 mile, 80 mile, whatever it is, 100 miles, whatever it is. Like, okay, so how long is it going to take you to get from here to St. Louis or even further than that, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can stop here and I can stop there. I was like,
well, that's the thing. You're driving out of your way to find chargers.
Nobody has that time. Who wants to do that?
Yeah. I'm going to say it's like the Evian people. You turn Evian around, it spells naive. I'm just saying, it's still water.
Right?
Still water.
It's good water, but yes. Shannon said it's damn good water.
Yeah. funny how that spells naive. That's all I'm saying. So
That's
they
true.
got you. It's like Dave
So,
Chappelle.
Rod,
Yeah, gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
I
Gotcha,
gotcha.
bitch.
Going like this. I gotcha.
Rod, I just need to check in. I finished my beer, but we are
Okay.
at 9:47. Should I get
Okay.
another or should I not?
Oh, you
This
got time
quarter
to
kill,
get
you still
another.
got a little time.
Yeah. Yeah,
got
you
a
got
little
a
Go
little time.
to
Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna grab another.
10:30 your
Okay.
time.
It's actually kind of dangerous because I'm feeling pretty good right now. I
Uh-oh.
feel good.
I mean, you guys been sick, so you're all coming off of,
I feel like it's the rise of the Valkyries.
All right.
We're back.
Shane wants to know if you've seen, what is it?
Something about Moonflower or
The Martin Scorsese film Moonflower or something.
Not yet, but I want to. We're planning to watch it at some point. That if you ever look at the backdrop on that story, that's pretty interesting story about what happened with that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, Leonardo for sure is like, okay.
Yeah, well, Scorsese, you're not going to go
And
wrong with Scorsese.
yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
but the whole Native American aspect of it, and then the historical, I mean, it was pretty cutthroat on that land and what they were actually doing there. It's interesting. GM and Ford have stomped on the brakes as far as EV. Ford may be crippled going forward. Everyone made a lot of bad choices. Drink, let's go.
Yes, let's go, Emerson. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I mean, the whole electric thing is like, what other problem they had with the electric vehicles, they started figuring out, like, what do we do with all the batteries when people get rid of them? They had to figure out really what to do with all the batteries, because that was going to cause issues as well, disposing of them.
Her brother's sending me videos all the time of like EV stuff. I'm like, I'm on the same side you are. Why are you sending this for? Like, you don't have to convince me. I'm like, no way. I'm not for the EV stuff. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, if I ever feel like it was like Demolition Man, I ever come back from being out of cryo state, I'm gonna be looking for that gas guzzling car like he did in the movie.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
New houses in Chicago suburbs have to have an electric car charger in the garage by code now. Really? That's
I
interesting,
did not
Big
know
Daddy.
about that.
I didn't either.
Oh wow.
They're trying to force it on the people to have an electric car charger there. I don't know. I think you'd have to look at a hybrid at some point, because if you're going to force people to do it, because like Todd was saying, why would you get a charger that have to run out of your way to go to find a spot that's not even in your regular course? You wouldn't be able to drive where you're driving. Yeah.
I thought like the in between kind of hybrid or whatever is like was the thing. I thought that was the thing. You know what I mean? Like.
Rod and Todd, we were in high school when the first EV was released. Makes you think, right? Well, you know what the funny thing is? So,
right.
If you ever want to see an interesting documentary, look up Who Killed the Electric Car. And the first electric cars came out basically in the 90s through Saturn. If you remember Saturn cars.
Yeah, Saturn had electric cars. That's true.
Saturn released them. And they ended up wanting to get Saturn to shut them down off the road, like the oil and gas companies kicked in. They pretty much confiscated all of the electric cars and were basically taking them to dumps and destroying them, so that people didn't know they existed. It's a really interesting documentary. Yeah. So really, the electric car is something we could have been ahead of the game on back in the 90s. But oil and gas says, shut that shit down. They gave us the old, John Taffer.
Baby.
They gave us the old John Taffer, like,
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
That's like.
Shut it down now.
That's like. There's been like 2 or 3 people that come across like to run the engine on water.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them's dead. Suspiciously.
Yeah.
Died.
Suspiciously
died.
Yeah. There's always interesting. You had the suspicious conspiracy type things, right? So
right.
It was the movie that Jeremy Renner had done. I can't remember the guy's name, but Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye in the Avenger film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, another Hawkeye.
It was
Too?
No, that was Radar that had the lobster claw.
Oh, okay.
Hawkeye was the
Hawkeye,
doctor,
Radar. Gotcha.
but
It's sort
it
of
was
the same, but not.
Just checking.
It-
Just checking.
it was an interesting film where he was exposing stuff in the government, and it basically said he was found by committing suicide. He had 2 bullets in the head.
How do you do 2?
Yeah.
That's magic.
Yeah, like the first one didn't take, so let me do it again. I don't.
I'm
it was
sorry.
kinda-
Two on
Yeah.
Suicide. No,
That
that's not how that works.
That was the official report.
Because
and it's
honestly,
like-
after the first one, even if your thoughts are very much in that direction, even after that first one, you're going to feel that pain and be like, nah, number 2 ain't gonna happen. Like,
right?
come on.
Yeah, it's. I got some questions about that.
Yeah, a little bit.
See if I can see what the name of the movie is here. Jeremy Renner. Killed the messenger. Great flick. So if you ever get a chance, check out Kill the
Bullet
Messenger.
strikes to the head, and that's a suicide.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I
Really?
mean, that's what they wrote it up, and
Really?
that's how they went with it. And that was what they did. Yeah.
That hurts my soul that someone was like, "This'll play, right? I can do this.
Oh,
It'll play. It'll work."
I mean,
No.
the American
It's
people are
just-
skimmers. They're not reading the full story. They're kind of just skimming over. It's like, yeah, I guess it was a bad shot the first time. Like, yeah. But it's
No.
interesting though, like the Todd's thing. Like, as people come up with like, I've seen videos on people where they've created, off the grid is a big thing, right? Where you can live off the land and stuff.
Mhm.
Or people have created their own homestead type things, and basically the government comes in and tries to shut them down on it. I'm like, why can't you? It's your property. Why can't you create what you want to create on your property?
Yeah.
But the government wants to be in your pocket for something. Like people were getting fined for capturing rainwater. Like, how do you fine people for capturing rainwater? It's freaking
Well,
rainwater.
Taxes on that rain because the rain happened because of global warming.
Yeah, right.
We don't
yeah.
admit global warming happened. I'm sorry. It's not global warming. It
It's always
was something
been, for
else.
sure.
It was El Nino. El
Yeah.
Nino created your rainwater. Therefore, the government deserves some of your money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I can see where some of these people are going. I'm just saying.
Oh, man, crazy.
What's up, Aubrey? Aubrey's in the house. Late night,
Hi,
lost 40
Aubrey.
double, hazy IPA
up,
for me.
Aubrey?
Nice. Cheers, brother. Great to see you, my friend. Yeah, we're back live. Did you get another beer, Todd? Did you get a? Are we going a little bit later then?
I mean, Mal's on what? 9:55.
All right. We'll go a little bit later since we're just coming back tonight. If that's okay
I mean,
with you.
it's a
So-
lightweight one, so maybe not.
Okay.
We were off last week. It's cool.
Yeah,
We were off recuperating from our
Okay.
sickness.
I'm
11:30,
getting over COVID. I'm getting over
11:30
COVID right now, I'm just saying.
You're
I'm
not
like,
getting over. You're
Hey,
fine.
Rod, it's your show. You can quit it whenever you want to.
I'm like freaking Talladega Nights. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on me.
True. Hey, but it's your show. You can do what you want. We got 5 minutes, or we got 55 minutes, or
Big Daddy's got the old style out. He's pounding the old style.
Woo!
Nice.
Woo!
There's
Look at
one
that.
from back in the day.
You got to have a little
Oh.
Malort with that old style.
You missed my rise of the you missed my Rise of the Valkyries earlier. Mal, you left and I was playing Rise of the Valkyries because we were rising up.
I missed it. I'm pretty sure I was here.
You hear it now?
Well, yeah, it's Flight of the Valkyries, but yes.
Well, I meant Flight. You know what I meant.
potato.
Freaking music Nazi, I tell you, folks.
I'm sorry. I was
Just for that.
I was trained
for
in
that.
opera by a Wagnerian tenor. A Wagnerian tenor was well versed in every single work that Wagner did, and the Flight of the
Wagnerian
Valkyries
tenor.
was one of the pieces that
Wagnerian tenor.
he did.
Well, just
I'm
because
sorry. That's
I'm-
just
well, you
saying.
lost Valkyrie, so I'm going to Rise of Sun instead.
That's House of the Rising Sun. That's a total different animal.
That's what I just said. I'm going to that instead. Because you're raining on my parade. Chew is
Different
she always
animal.
Chew is she always like this? Because Chew's in the comments now. So there's catching rainwater's banned supposedly for health reasons. Yeah.
Okay.
What health
so the
what health
I
reasons
can understand.
on rainwater? It's rainwater. It's not been infected with anything, it's just coming from the sky.
So when I lived in the Caribbean, we had a cistern.
And thank you, Chew.
caught-
Thank you, Chew, for lurking, by the way, out there. I know you were watching.
Yeah,
so
they in
appreciate
the
you.
background. Chew in the
When
background.
I lived in the Caribbean, we had a cistern that caught the rainwater for. It was used for showers, and it wasn't used in the sink because the sink you use cooking water from. So it was just for the showers. But I mean, it's kind of open. So if a bird gets in there, if a bug gets in there, if there's
It's
a lot of things
rainwater.
that go wrong with it. I know, but you
It's
can't
protein.
protect it from all of the problems that can happen
Did
to
you
water.
say-
Well,
So-
well, can't you
Say
put you
cooking
could put
water?
you could put a filter on top of the bucket so it just filters the water through.
It's not a bucket. It's like 80 gallons. Or not
Well, I mean,
80
if you
gallons, it's
well, I
like
mean, when they're catching rainwater, they got
1,000
buckets
gallons.
out
It's
there,
huge.
but you could put like a cellophane thing or something, poke holes in it, so you can try to keep bugs and birds out.
Well, yes, you can try, but it doesn't work 99% of the time. You're still getting stuff in there that you don't want. If a bird poops on that cellophane, you're still getting bird poop into that water. So I understand why cisterns are slightly problematic because I've been there and I've lived off a cistern. I know, but yeah, I didn't want to use it in my cooking as much because honestly, if one of the pigeons up there pooped, I didn't want that in my food. The rainwater is a little shaky sometimes just because it's open to the elements. When it's open to the elements, you can get a lot of elements in it.
Okay.
I
You
didn't want bird
so.
poop in my food. I'm sorry. I
You
didn't
say
want bird
so.
poop in my food. I knew the birds that hang out on my
Always a
roof, and I knew where the
Perfection.
cistern was, and I didn't want to deal with the bird poop.
But I think that was more to the music thing, but Mrs. Perfection.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Music appreciation was hard enough for me, right? Yeah. Keep getting the music down. Wait a
Ooh,
minute,
what
you
is
get
that?
another beer?
Bistro
That was the
Cabana?
one I just started drinking.
Oh, okay. All right.
Slowly roll. Slowly roll.
Isn't a cistern yes what the pigeons poop in? The pigeons
Well,
poop in
yes,
cistern?
they do, because they're up on your roof and they don't know that that's your drinking water. They're not thinking about that. They're
Oh, but
pigeons. They poop where they poop. That's what they do.
No, they target you senseless.
What do you say when you see pigeon poop?
Oh shit!
And honestly, where I lived, it was roosters
Oh,
too.
wait.
So it was rooster poop. I had to watch for rooster poop when I was living in the Caribbean too, and goats.
Okay.
Rooster poop.
And there were free-ranging cows that didn't belong to anybody. You didn't know whose pile was going to show up on your lawn. Honestly, the Caribbean was a bit of a mishmash of crazy, honestly. But
Come on, man.
yes, exactly.
Come on, man.
I gotta get a Joe Biden in there, right? I do have a Donald Trump.
You are fake news.
You're not. You're fake.
I appreciate that you were just playing that because it was someone and not because I was saying things.
No, I just was
I
sharing.
appreciate that.
I do have a Donald Trump one on there too, but I ain't got a chance to really work it in. But you know,
That's the bottom line.
I'm just messing around all kinds of stuff over here.
Stone Cold said so.
So you
We've
have
been
been updating your sound effects then.
We haven't had Blake in here tonight, but anyway.
And his name is John C.
You can't see me. was old Blake and the teddy bear doing?
That was for Blakey Blake.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Which I do get. They're doing another season of Peacemaker, which I haven't watched the first season. I did like John Cena's character on Suicide Squad, though, so I may check out that series. My wife just got into watching Jack Reacher too, which I haven't watched yet, but she's gonna like
Oh,
it.
you haven't?
Yeah, I need to.
We're almost done with the latest season, so it's pretty good.
People don't clean their containers, so mold can affect the water. Plus, it could be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. But once again, I believe that because the government can't make money off of it. Yeah, it's like weed, right? They can make money off of it for a while. So, yeah. Were you using a cistern? Lost Island of New England outpost?
I lived in the British Virgin Islands for 3 years, and we had a cistern there for 2 apartments in 1 building. So, yeah, I was using it in the British Virgin Islands. Desert style island, not Caribbean, like lush jungle style. But we had a lot of things that could get into the cistern that we didn't want in our drinking water. So that did not connect directly to our drinking water. It went straight to the shower and the washer dryer. And that was it.
Yeah. She was down in the islands, my friends. Excuse me, yeah, man.
Come on.
So, fun thing. I'm going to type a thing.
Uh-oh.
They had an election down there for local officials at one point, and one of the local officials, he put up a sign in front of the grocery store that I had to walk past on my way to and from work. I'm posting what he had as his running slogan right now. This was actually written on a banner that was right in front of me.
Let we do this thing.
Let we do this thing. Let we do this thing. That was his running slogan, as because he's saying we can all come together and do the things that we want to accomplish, but let we do this thing was his running slogan. So I gotta say, one of the best slogans I've ever seen. I thought that was wonderful. I was down there when Obama got elected, which was kind of funny because the Caribbean went fucking crazy when Obama was elected, by the way. They went nuts. Like, I was down there and people were celebrating for days when Obama got elected president.
Yeah.
Like, they were so excited that he was elected. And this guy was like, let me do this thing. Like, you know, he was kind of going for it. It was very cute. I liked it a lot. I was unfortunately not able to be involved in the elections down there because you have to live there for 25 years before you're allowed to vote.
Oh, wow. That's a long commitment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because when I moved down there, you fill out all the paperwork as being a person from another country who's living in this country to, you know, do a thing. The
thing or a ting? A thing or a ting?
Just ting.
But the actual governmental word for a person who is from elsewhere living there to work was a non-belonger. I was officially a non-belonger for 3 years.
Oh, look at that. With you
obviously
there. Non-belonger.
Does not belong. They were very straight on that. I was a non-belonger. That is the proper term in the British Virgin Islands for a person who lives there but was not born there.
You're not welcome to this thing.
I got to be a non-belonger for a long time.
Make a song
it's
about
weird
that.
to call myself a non-belonger, but
I'm a non-belonger. A non-belonger. What's up, Sam? Cheers, homie. Sam, you be non-belonger down there too. LOL, Sammy. Yeah, non-belonger. Meant to say hello again. Yeah. Cheers, brother. Brother from another mother from down under over in Australia. Cheers, homie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You were still a non-belonger in this household. There you go. Chew laying down the law.
The cats
Yeah,
have
no
made that
saying
very
that,
clear. The
Chew-
cats have made that very clear. It's not you, it's the cats.
Oh, the cats are fucking evil.
No, the cats just want pets and food. They're food and pet mongers. is
Wow,
what they-
Chew. You coming at mallet like that?
Yeah, he
Shots
is.
fired! Shots fired!
Yes.
Yeah. That's just wrong, Chew. That's just wrong.
You know, it's so funny because I didn't even get upset at him for saying that.
Definitely.
Even as
Yeah.
you're saying it, like I'm like, oh shoot, I should have been upset about that. Oops. I should have been insulted, and nah, Chew doesn't insult me. All these
Well, now
years, I can't get insulted by him.
So hopefully you're doing well, Aubrey, as well. So great to see you. I'm
Yes.
just getting back from a little COVID bout, so it's been a couple weeks since we've done a show, and
For sure.
Mal's getting over the flu or whatever else Chew gave her. So
He did. He gave me the He had it for 5 days. I had it for 12 because fuck him.
So that could be taken two ways.
Chew, don't be giving Mal stuff.
Come on,
I
man.
know.
You can't be
stop
doing
giving
that.
me the flu.
Or
No, stop giving me the
it's
flu.
resist, so she, you know.
I'm more worried about not getting the flu from him. I'll get other things from him. That's fine, but I don't want the flu.
Giving her the flu. That ain't right, man. That ain't right. Chew walking away.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm done.
I know.
You deal
What a
with it.
bastard.
You deal with it.
Him licking all those handrails in Chicago, like his immune system's fucking crazy. Like he can,
Yes.
he can
See,
eat
see,
day-old
that's-
stuff that's been
that's
sitting
okay.
out all night.
That's okay.
Never affects him. It's just me. No.
Maybe I
Right?
do the same thing. Not Chicago, but here locally, you know. Look, handrails could have been the problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Chew,
I mean,
you looking
I'm
you looking
not sick by any means. I'm never sick, so that could be.
He has
you know,
a strong immune system, that bastard.
Man.
And he blames
Just
the
built
licking
up.
of
I'm not gonna say anything against you, but licking handrails, that's some eerie shit right there. That's some freaky shit. That's some shit like you can't be out there licking on the
Man, I mean,
handrails. That ain't right. That ain't right.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did. I don't think I did, but
You have no idea where those rails have been, Chew. You can't be licking them.
I know. But that's what he does.
builds
And now he's
immunity.
fucking healthy, and I'm fucking still having coughing
it
fits.
builds immunity. That's all I'm saying. It
A
builds
non-belonger to the U.S. You always belong, Sam. Come on over.
Sam, come visit. Come see Chicago. I'll show you around.
I will make it for beer.
No,
Yeah,
she
we'll
won't.
sneak you in, Sam. We'll sneak you in.
Honestly, anyone who wants to come to Chicago,
Yeah,
I will
I'm just
find a way for them to see Chicago beer.
You know what?
this.
Todd went to Chicago and
around. We were coming to see you, but we didn't. So you know.
Todd went to
know.
Chicago
Yeah.
and Todd got no Garrett's popcorn when he was there. How bad is that?
What? You didn't get the
I
popcorn?
got a Garrett's popcorn beer though. So you
How
know.
could you not get the popcorn?
He didn't get any Garrett's popcorn when he was there.
You
I
have to
don't
get the
know
popcorn, the pizza,
how's that
and the
fucking
hot dogs.
happen? How's that happen? I don't know.
Popcorn, pizza, hot dogs, and the Italian
I
beer.
mean, pizza,
Those
beer,
4 things have to happen.
popcorn was kind of on the last. You know, it's on the bottom of the list.
The popcorn is solid in Chicago from Garrett's. That's like an important thing to pick
It
up.
is.
I mean, I hope it's better than the beer for sure. Because that was not good.
The beer was like- oh shit!
I mean, it's all way go up. Go
No
up,
forgiveness.
that's up, right?
I do not forgive you.
Oh man.
All right, you're sleeping in the garage when you come to visit, by the way.
I mean, I assume that was the case anyway.
No, Shannon gets to sleep inside because she didn't say what you just said. You're sleeping in the garage.
What is up, Trilby? Cheers, my
Fair
friend.
enough.
Trilby.
All I know is I'm happy to all
What
of you
did
are
I say?
here.
What did I say?
I'm happy all of you are here with me tonight. And
First of all,
let me just tell
I would
you,
like to thank the many fans throughout this country. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But, brother, I am bad, and they know I'm bad.
that's right.
I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now, reaching out because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now. Love you.
Just saying. My inner Dusty Rose came out there. So
That
You won't
wasn't
see-
your inner, that
What
was
did I
your
say?
outer.
you won't see
Dusty
that. You won't see that in a primary speech this season.
That was your outer Dusty Rose because it was a whole speech from Dusty Rose. No.
From my,
Don't
it
say
was my inner. It was my
It's
inner
not your
Dusty
inner.
Rose.
It was
It was
outer.
my inner.
You made it outer when you hit the button.
It was my inner
Any
being
outie,
projected
whatever.
outer.
Yeah, you're an outer.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Because that's how I roll. Oh, let me see here. Where the fuck am I in comments, by the way?
You had morning all, and now
Kirby Phil likes to lick windows. Why is everybody licking things out there nowadays? Is it
I mentioned you doing it. Now they're all like, "Oh, I do that too."
is it
Speak
Windows?
cool.
Is it
Cool.
Windows 10 or Windows 11? I don't know which Windows is.
I think
Phil
it's
licking here.
windows, like the glass windows.
Oh, actual Windows. Actual.
Oh,
Windows.
actual
wow.
windows. I think so.
Sometimes distance make the heart grow fonder for the beer that is. I like that, Aubrey. Yeah, I
Oh,
like that.
cheers.
Yeah. Or ski lift rails like Dumber and Dumber.
No,
There
ski
you
lift
go.
you can freeze too. You don't do that one.
Plus licking other people's cell phones. Why is everybody
Okay,
licking?
so you
Come on, Chew.
Chew had his best friend's cell phone in his hand, and she said something, and like her husband's a germaphobe. So Chew, trying to be funny and freak out the germaphobe, licked
Liked
her
it.
cell phone because someone said what the cell phone screen has the most germs on it, right? Like more than a toilet seat, more than a lot of things, you know, your cell phone screen has the most germs on it. So he licked her cell phone. Her husband just about fucking lost his mind because it was so gross.
Did you
And
get
I
sick?
was not there for this situation. I did not witness this happening, but my husband, he has a tendency to put himself in the path of germs. I guess hoping that he will be stronger for that. Honestly,
Not so much.
I think he might be right because honestly, every time he gets sick and I get it, I have it twice as long. And so I think something he's doing is correct. It's like, you know, subject the kids to chicken pox when they're young, right? You have the chicken pox parties. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
that was the thing. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe what he's doing is the correct thing because honestly, every time I get sick from something he has it for half the time that I do. So I start to
don't know.
wonder. I start to wonder.
I feel like the more I learn about you, the more I feel like
Emotional, damn it.
I can't get things back
That's
after
why I
learning
have
out
on all
about
the
you.
videos.
Chew keeps surprising. He keeps the gift that keeps on giving.
I actually heard him laugh at that one downstairs. As soon as you played that, I heard him laugh.
Emotional, damn it.
Mariano's popcorn.
Emotional, damn it.
I have not had that one. I'll have to consider that when I'm back in Chicago again because Garrett's is what I like. But Mariano, any comment there? Mal, have you had that?
Mariano's popcorn?
I mean, say it blows away Garrett. That's a big bold claim right there.
See, you always lead me down the wrong path. Garrett,
Can we go back to calling Chew emotionally damaged? Is that just something we can go back to? Because I know he's listening downstairs. I can hear it.
My beard just whispers, slow down.
That's
Not
fair.
today.
Beer sometimes
to-
does that.
Yeah.
happens.
That's just how guys are. We're dirty, right? Yeah, we live in the gutter sometimes, for sure.
I just worry about him sometimes because he's going to catch some germ that he can't fight off, and it scares me. But he's
Dude, I
so
feel-
intent on subjecting himself to all the germs. I get worried.
Some people like the germs, I guess. I mean, it seems to be working out for him now.
I'm better than most folks. Honestly,
Yeah.
my immune system isn't anywhere close to his. Like, he
Yeah.
fights stuff off like crazy. I mean, I've seen him eat things that should never be eaten. I've seen him be in close proximity to things that he should not be in close proximity to, and that man is so damn healthy. I'm shocked. Like, if we chose to have children, I hope they get his immune system, for goodness sakes, because wow, it's just nuts.
It's wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah. All I know is I appreciate everybody being here, and hopefully,
Time! The time! Just not here.
this is not why you're here. I hope this is why you're here. We're trying to do what we can. So yeah.
Actually, you know why I'm here? I'm here to hear Turnaround.
Why do you want to hear turnaround so much?
Because it makes me laugh every time. It
I like to
makes
see-
me laugh every time. Like, there's no amount of sober or drunk that I am ever at where that sound clip you have doesn't make me laugh. It makes me laugh every time.
The funny thing is, like, we were here at the time, the phone kept ringing or whatever. And, like, I would love to see like some type of psycho type. What's that psycho? Was it the like the paranormal activity take place? Like I would like we talked about the phone that was ringing that episode. Like it was weird. It kept trying to call you or whatever. But I would love to see some more.
No, my phone was
Psychedelic?
playing music.
It was playing music.
It kept playing music,
Random-
and I had
randomly.
the app closed. The app was closed. It shouldn't have been playing music, but it kept doing that. And then stuff was falling out of the closet.
See, I would love stuff to fall from behind you because we can't see in front of you. But if it fell behind you, we can be like,
Turn around.
Thank you. I needed that.
yeah, well, it's what we do. We turn around and we jump around. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Jump up, and get down.
Oh, for those of you that tuned in and might be new to the channel, this is what we do every Thursday night.
Champagne or girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer. No champagne or girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
That's just what happens. That's what we do.
Mhm.
Thursday
No
night,
early drinks.
8 p.m. Eastern every Thursday
Shut
night.
up, Todd.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say girly. It's in the thing, but
That's
come
what
on.
the
That's the song ever. Right? I don't even know where I
Girly
found
drinks.
that. I found
Girly
that
drink,
somewhere.
Sure, if it's guys only, but no, I'm sorry. I drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
beer.
So you want
You
to
know,
talk girly drinks? It's right there. Fucking beer.
It's kind of
say-
like
That was a song. That wasn't me calling you out. That was a song.
Oh,
I
look
feel
at him.
like
I got him to defend himself. Look at that.
I haven't gotten the emails yet about that being like people upset. We talk about all the family, all kind of stuff. I guess in today's society, that could be kind of something bad. Like I get
I mean, it
canceled
could be,
over
I
that.
guess.
Like
Okay,
on a girly
so-
drink.
Saying girly drinks, first of all, girls are children, and girly drinks would be Kool-Aid, lemonade. That would be like non-alcoholic.
No,
That's
you
girly
could have-
drinks.
You can have alcoholic
Or-
drinks, like there's some alcoholic drinks that guys would consider
No,
more girly.
only if you consider a girl a woman. A woman is old enough to drink the alcohol. A girl is not. Girly
Well, if you-
drink.
Well, if you're
are
R.
and
Kelly,
lemonade.
if you're R. Kelly,
Oh, fuck R. Kelly.
And beer,
might-
beer, beer.
Girly
He was
drinks
the
are
producer of that
lemonade
fucking
and Kool-Aid
thing.
and soda.
but there's some mixed drinks that have the foo-foo type thing where people would consider them to be more girly type drinks. I'm not
Foo-foo?
saying it.
Foo-foo?
saying
Is foo-foo
foo-foo.
a girly thing? Is
Foo-foo's
a
like
girly
foo-foo's
thing?
like a girly type thing, you know.
I'm
like,
sorry.
you
Is
know.
foo-foo a girly thing? Really?
I think it is for some people. I'm not saying it's me.
I feel like
I'm
you're
just
very-
saying they're out
Uh-huh,
there.
Okay.
I'm saying some people like, you know, you get like a little umbrella pink type drink at the bar where your fellas, they're going to be looking at you like, what's that girly drink? What is that girly drink you're actually drinking over
Mouth's
there?
about ready to set the record
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah. They
I
call
can
it
see
a-
I can see it.
And a guy is like, they call it a strawberry daiquiri. It's like, whoa, we don't do daiquiris. That's a girly drink.
You know,
I'm
it's
just saying.
cute that you're saying girly drink, but honestly, I'm a girl, or I was a girl a long time ago. I'm a woman now, but my drinks.
I'm
have
not
always
saying
been
me.
Scotch and beer.
I'm just
Scotch
saying
and beer. And honestly, I could
That's what
outdrink
that's
most
what
of
they
you
say.
fuckers on Scotch any day. So, like, just saying,
Well, I'm saying
Just
most of them. I'm
girly
I'd
drinks
be up to.
makes
For
me
I'm not.
speak up.
I'm not saying it's a girly drink. I'm saying some people would perceive it as a girly drink.
I
From
understand.
from
said
being
it was
from
girly.
being from
However-
from being on the bartender side of stuff before, that would be kind of some
However,
guys will look at it being a girly drink. Girls can drink
See,
like
Rod-
a lot of guys
Rod,
at their table.
Rod,
Fair
we are in
enough.
great position
Fair
though, in the fact
Yeah.
that you understand how that some people perceive is a
Mhm.
very dangerous situation in the
Very
fact
dangerous.
that keeps people out of neighborhoods, that keeps people out of jobs, that keeps people
Mhm.
out of different things. So you and I are in a similar situation as far as some people perceive it this way. Well, you know, sometimes it's not the girly drinks that you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Honestly, I told you I drank scotch, neat,
Yeah.
splash of water, and I drink my beer. Not the girly drink, as
Not
they
the
say.
girly drink. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying. Just saying.
It's like when some of these guys go to a brewery, which
I love you bunches. I love you bunches, but I'm gonna point out when there's a thing. Just saying.
oh no, you're right. Like, but it's like when guys go to breweries, and you might have seen this yourself, and they're like, "Hey, what beer should I try?" Blah blah blah. And you give them a recommendation, and they turn around and ask a guy, like,
Yeah.
"Your recommendation wasn't
Oh.
like."
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that happens
so-
literally all the time.
right,
It
and it's
happens
like,
Literally
whoa.
all the time.
didn't I just
So-
tell you? Like,
These people I'm suggesting it to, they don't know how beer is brewed.
I don't hear from
They
you. I
don't
wanna
know
hear
where
from
the
you.
hops are from. They don't know anything about beer, and
You
they're circumnavigating me and going to Sega or Bryn or one of my like servers
fucking obscene
because he's a
about
guy,
it,
and
yeah.
it's like, no, they don't know as much about beer as I do. So fuck yeah, have fun. But yeah,
take this and spin around on it.
and
Yes,
before
sit and
I
spin,
worked in
sit and
beer,
spin.
before I worked in beer, my last job, I was an office manager at a truck and trailer repair facility. So I worked specifically with semi-truck mechanics and semi-truck drivers. And when they would come in and say, I have a problem with my truck, where's the mechanic I can talk to? I said, no, you're talking to me. I'm making the job listing. So tell me what the fuck's wrong with your truck. And they would say, oh, that thing on the side of the truck, the black thing up high, it's like, I said, oh, your air deflector? Yeah, got it. Thanks. Like, they didn't even know what the names of the parts of their truck were. I did.
Get your ass out of my office. Get out of my
Are you
office.
kidding me right now? Your air deflector, the skirt on the air deflector was problematic. Okay, that's cool. I can fix that for you, you asshole.
Like,
I
no,
was
the guy in
called
the back.
princess. I was called princess. I was called cupcake. I was called sweetheart. I was called darling all the time. And it's like, no, I know more about your truck than you do. Shut
Yeah.
up.
They're like
So-
the little thingy.
So I have been and done on a lot of the fronts as far as male dominated like where you would expect to find men working.
Mm. Yeah,
In
like
those-
male dominated professions. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
That's-
you.
no,
Professions. That was the word I was looking for.
I think it's an age thing for sure. Because like Shannon's dad will call and be like, "Got a problem? You know, something to talk about," and she'll answer. She's like, "Let me talk to Todd." I'm like, and she'll go, "He don't know no more than I know." He's like, "That's fine. Just let me talk to him." He'll talk to me. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what you're fucking talking about." And I just heard her say that. I was like, "I don't know what you.
Yeah.
What do you? I'll listen to you, but I don't know what you're talking about. So it's okay."
Yeah. It's funny is people are with it. Like my doctors, like I'll go to my new doctor. I came to Baltimore and I got like, I think all of them were like women. And they're like, "Are you okay having a woman?" I don't give a fuck as long as they know what they're doing. Like, don't bother me none. But some
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, I gotta have a male doctor," or blah blah blah. I was like,
Right,
"Oh,
right.
I'm good to
Yeah.
go. Like, as long as you know what you're doing, I don't care."
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you say that, but women do think that they have to have a female doctor because we've had so many male doctors tell us, "Oh, you're just suffering PMS, or you're having an off day." Fuck you! I'm not having an off day. I
No,
have
that
a fucking tumor. You asshole.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That
Forward
makes
on the
sense for
fucking
me.
Medical thing.
That makes sense because Shannon's the same
Yeah.
way. She's like, I won't go to a male doctor, whatever. I want to go to a female, for that
Because
reason.
men
For that
write
reason,
off our
yeah, 'cause
emotions. They
'cause
write
they
off our
know-
emotions.
Yes.
Well, I think like with women, it's more
And I get that.
going
I
to a
get
male is more of a bias and stuff there too. So I would definitely say
Now, as far as a general practitioner goes, I don't have an issue going to a male doctor. But if I have something serious, I kind of want to go to a woman just because men have a tendency to write off my emotions as part of the situation. And if I'm
See that.
very upset about what's going on, for example, I have cystic fibrosis, which means I have lumps in my breasts always,
Yeah.
all the time. So, the whole test that they tell you to do, I do the test, but there's always lumps. And any of those could be cancerous. And I will never know when the cancerous one comes. I have no idea. And it runs in my family, the whole works. But men are like, "Oh, it's just a lump. It moves around. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're just overreacting." Fuck you, I'm not overreacting. I know what my family history is.
Right.
I know what my health situation is. I know how I'm feeling. And let's get this checked out. Are you kidding me right now?
yeah.
I get that with male doctors. Not all of them. I've had some that were amazing. I've had several male doctors who were phenomenal human beings and who took what I said at its face and did the best they could for me. And I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm not a crazy person who's like assuming I have all the problems. No, they listened. And it's tricky to find a male doctor that does that for women. Honestly, it happens.
Sure.
It does. There's always a dichotomy there where men don't necessarily think the same way women do, and it can be problematic for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see what that plays into it. And like I said, it's like there's also like a bias side part where if you don't know, you're not open to it. Women are going to be more open to it because they deal with it a lot more than what men do.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, okay, so I've been watching this some YouTube videos that were like people try PMS simulators. Have you seen these?
I have not seen those.
Sort of. Yeah.
So PMS cramps are intense and
They're about like
problematic for a lot of women.
Trying it.
They created a simulator that was like patches that you put on your abdomen, and they contract the muscles in a way that is similar to how people go through PMS. And they had a woman and a man separate, like they were in the room together, but she put on the things and went through, and she was like, "Oh yeah, this, like at level 7, she's like, yeah, this is a normal day when I'm on PMS." And when she got to level 15, she was like, okay, this is like the bad day. This is the really bad day. And
Yeah.
then when she got to level 20, they cut it off because 20 was the highest it would go. Then they put them on the men. And the men, when they got to level 4, were losing their fucking shit because they were like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I can't handle this. Like, the men did continue on to the higher levels and got up to the level 20, which, yeah. But every single couple I've seen watched go through this, the men is always like, I can't believe you go through this once a month. Like, seriously? Because it's ridiculous. How
It's kind of like nature. Like we have to go through it.
like you don't have a choice. Like you're
Yeah.
born into it. It's just how it's going to happen, and you're stuck with that, and it's fine as long as you know what's coming. And
Yeah.
so these men whose muscles have not been preconditioned to deal with the pain that exists in that situation, their muscles were going fucking nuts because their muscles couldn't handle the contractions that were happening due to that. So it was just really interesting to watch this thing where the women went through it first, and there's a girl at level 17. She's like, oh, this is awful. This is awful. Okay, 18. And it goes up to 18, and she's like, oh, frick, this is terrible. Okay, 19. And they go up to 19, and she's like, oh my God, okay. 20. And they go up to 20, and she's like, okay, I'm done. Thank you. And she takes off the things and hands it to the guy, and the guy's like, well, she got through that okay. By level 8, he was crying. Level 8, he was crying. And it's like, no, there's a reason that we're persnickety and problematic during that. We're in pain, fuckers. We hurt a lot. It sucks.
I don't challenge that.
I can't deal with anyone else's bullshit when I'm in pain. I just can't.
Yeah. Chew, cut that shit out.
Oh no, he's actually pretty good. The moment I say I need a cup of tea and my heating pad, he's like, no, he's good.
Yeah.
He's not gonna bug me. He's gonna
being like 4
do my
days.
thing.
Yeah.
And he's gonna bring me a thing now and again to keep me happy. So he does a really nice job.
No, it's good he does that because I don't know about the cream of tartar. He's added into popcorn. I've never heard of tartar being added to popcorn before.
You're right.
So
No, cream of tartar is the best. You gotta
I've
add
never heard
cream
it
of
added to
tartar.
popcorn.
I'm serious.
I've never
Just
heard of
add
that
it.
before. Tartar is
I'm telling
fish.
you.
Me either.
Tartar is fish, right? Like I'm like, how do you get into the popcorn?
No.
How'd you
Cream
come up
of
with that
tartar.
idea?
No, you're thinking of tartar sauce.
No,
Is that the
cream
same
of tartar
thing,
is a
right?
Animal.
It's a powder.
Cream of tartar is a spice. It's gentle. It's nice. It's easy. No, just
It's not tartar
tartar,
sauce
yes.
like. Okay.
No.
It's not tartar sauce. It doesn't taste like tartar sauce at all.
I'm like, what the hell is Chew doing there? I mean, licking the bars are one thing, but putting tartar sauce in the popcorn, that's a whole different thing.
It's
Right
not tartar sauce. It's cream of tartar. It's different. It's like saying curry is turmeric. That's not the same. Turmeric gives it the color and slight flavor, but barely there. But curry is the flavor. So, no, cream of tartar, really good on popcorn.
Okay, we'll have to consider that
It's
there.
really good on popcorn.
Sammy's hiding because he's scared of your trilby. I don't know where Sammy disappeared there. He might have jumped over to Alex's thing. I haven't been on any subway here, so I've not been on the DC or the Baltimore subway. Best song ever was Turn Around.
Turn around.
Chick drinks. He's talking about Mal drinks, yeah.
Chick drinks are beer, scotch.
Oh, talking about
That
the
is
chick
chick
drinks from earlier, yeah. How about if a drink just has a girly name?
Okay, I can argue that one because if you have a girly name,
What's up, Nerdy? Nerdy, welcome to the channel, my friend.
I'm nerdy.
Hey, Nerdy.
What would be a girly name with a drink, though? Like,
so we had a liquor at my bar called Herb Saint, and it tastes like black licorice, and we were trying to get rid of it. So I tried a cocktail, someone else tried a cocktail. We were all trying these cocktails to try and sell off this liquor because we wanted it off the shelf, right? one of our bartenders came up with a drink that tasted the best. It was lemon and whiskey and this herb saint stuff, and it tasted like lemon black licorice whiskey, straight up. But she called it fairy juice, and no
Fairy
men would order
juice.
it. It was only women. We had one man order a fairy juice.
Well, I mean,
All the rest of the orders were women. I was like,
technically, fairy juice may not just be a woman girly drink. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm
Just
not
saying.
that. I'm just saying the name she gave it made men not want to order it
So
because it
did the one
sounded.
guy that drank it was
So-
he a
It was
Either
like a lemon whiskey sour with black licorice, and then they rimmed the glass with colored
Rimmon. All right. Okay.
They rimmed the
okay.
glass
that was
with
the
Perfect
joke,
name.
Mal.
Perfect name now.
And so they
One
called
guy
it fairy
ordered it. Was
juice,
he a
and
guy or was he
unfortunately, that name was
guy?
problematic because we had trouble selling the fairy juice only to women. One man ordered a fairy juice. That was it.
That's what I'm saying. Was that man a man or a man?
You know, he had full facial hair, and he was there with 6 other men. So they were all
It's
like
debatable
manly
then.
men types.
It's debatable.
No, everyone was manly men types. So
Ish.
I think he just wasn't intimidated by his
No,
friends
he said-
and
said
could
he'd
order
get a
whatever
shot.
he wanted.
Yeah.
But
No, it's good. No, it's good.
no,
Well,
he was not intimidated by his friends, I think was the thing. But he was the only person that was
That stepped
male that
forward
we
to
sold the
drink
drink to.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, shout out to him for enjoying it for sure.
Right. Yes. Good for him.
It's a damn good drink. I just want the fucking herb saint off my shelf. I still have like this much left in the bottle, and I can't.
So
get
why
rid of this shit.
is it just a women drink?
I don't consider it a girly name because if you ask me what a girly name is, I don't know if that'd be a girly name.
Because of the name?
I mean, maybe some guys perceive it that way, but I don't think it'd be a girly name.
But
That's
fairy
what
juice?
I was wondering, like,
Yeah, I don't think fairy juice would be a girly name.
Well, apparently our customers thought different.
I think it
'cause
could be.
men
I think
order
it could be a name for maybe a community type thing that they might have felt uncomfortable ordering it, but I don't think it's a
no, if I
girly
walked in,
name.
it's like fairy drink, whatever. Like, what's the ABV? What's this? Okay, sign me up. I'll take it.
I'd get it. I mean, hell, but I eat Lucky Charms, so you know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me none.
With marshmallows or no? 'Cause I like marshmallows.
Oh, you gotta have a marshmallow. You gotta have a marshmallow.
Right? It's what I'm saying. So sign me right up. We'll drink the shit
The,
out of that.
the way you said it made me think of Ricky Bobby. Like you like marshmallows in yours? I like marshmallows in mine. You gotta have marshmallows. Hell yeah, man! I want the rainbow.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, you know. Yes.
Oh damn, Todd's shit on Chicago beer. No, damn, Todd's just messing around there. Todd loves Chicago beer. Pink squirrels are the best. I never had a pink squirrel, but Chew
So a
has.
pink squirrel is a cocktail that he had in college, and nobody's been able to recreate it. So he doesn't know what was in it. But pink squirrel was a pink martini style cocktail that he had in college that he hasn't been able to find ever since. And though it's a girly name, he loved them. So
Chicagoanians need to take notes so you know.
Pink squirrel cocktail recipe. I
Yeah,
got it right
pink
here.
squirrel cocktail recipe.
Let me tell you what it is right now. So
Oh shit, Rajay to the
Okay.
rescue.
you're gonna do 3/4 ounce of creme de Nil.
Creme de what?
No, NOYAUX is French.
NLY?
NOYAUX. I'm gonna put the link in our private thing here
Okay.
in a second. 3/4 ounce of white creme de cacao. 1.5 ounces of heavy cream.
Okay.
Garnished with a freshly grated nutmeg.
Where's the pink? I didn't hear
Sounds
any
like a
pink in there.
milkshake.
I'm going to put it in here, and you can still. You're going to add the cream the Nial with white cream, cacao, and heavy cream into a shaker filled with ice. Shake until well chilled. Strain into a chilled coupe glass. Garnish with freshly grated nutmeg. So
Oh,
I will put the link in the chat here. If I can get over to it, I can scroll back up. And then you're able to get that over to him. And that's the recipe for it.
Okay. I will do that.
That
gonna
is the pink
see-
squirrel. Let me
I'm gonna
see. Let me
see-
make sure. Let me
and-
pull up. I'll pull up a picture of it here, just to make
Oh,
sure
it's a
that way,
very pretty picture.
because
Pink
Chew is watching, and Chew can comment if this is what it looks like from what he remembered. But
Chew, tell us
here-
what it looks
here
like.
is a picture of it right here.
Ooh, that's so pretty. So pretty. So
It
pretty.
is pretty.
So right there in the martini glass. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I might put that in a girly drink, but you know what? I would still taste it. I would still drink it. I don't care. There you go. So that is the drink that Drew was talking about, the pink squirrel.
Mm.
Yeah. So just like that, find a recipe real quick, because that's what I do. I
There you go.
solve things. I
Just
find
a-
things for
Just
people.
ask Rajay.
Mhm.
Quiet minds want to know. Just ask you.
Fuck, man, where was I at over here? I go back down to the pink. Don't say anything there.
Fair enough.
That was terrible. Terrible.
I like the women that are named after drinks. Well, there you go. Liquid Gold just
Women
walked
named
in the
after
door.
drinks? Like
Yeah.
what? You met a Malibu Pineapple Johnson? Like
She was working on a Thursday at the club.
like what is this? A woman who's named after a drink?
Like
Old
Ladyfinger.
fashioned Jefferson? Like
My name is Ladyfinger. Yeah. Gonna crash, gotta hook up with this. That's all right, Big Daddy. Good luck with that. Don't let it
hi,
get too
Big
cold.
Daddy.
Can I hook up my RV too? Everybody's trying to get electric buzz. Similar for men who so many female doctors just don't know about men. Could
I
be.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. It makes sense. They've been through all the things. It makes a difference.
Let's see. Where Yuka? Waka?
I'm
You know
assuming
where
that
all
was
at.
Where do
her.
you got live?
We never think the same, but I never let my daughter go to anyone other than highly rated by the woman doctor. Yeah. I mean, to me, it just makes sense to do. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I don't really. I feel like as long as I get a trained professional, I'm good to go in that regard. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I never really get sick though.
Professional,
Too, if I had a lot of issues I had to worry about, I might be a little different.
Right.
It's
Yes.
professional,
Yeah.
but you have to realize that people take men at their word. Always. People don't
Yeah.
do that with women. So there's
Yeah,
a
well,
slight
women have an
different
issue. Yeah.
situation there.
Whatever the cost of insurance, I don't get. Cost
Fair
do come into play. Yeah, you got to be a network.
Yeah.
Popcorn should be sweet. Well, you have the caramel and the cheese popcorn together. That's my way, Chicago style.
Yeah.
Berry juice does sound like a girly name. I guess you could call the same thing something like demon juice and see who buys it. Well, demon
You know,
juice, I think guys
contemplated-
would buy demon juice. I think.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought about that, and I feel like if we revamped the thing and did it as Demon Juice, I think it would sell better.
Oh,
I think
guys
we
would
gotta do
definitely
it
buy that.
closer to the fall. So I think
Yeah.
in the fall we'll do it as Demon Juice and see how it goes. But I
She
love
says-
that.
See.
She said, looks similar, but when I remember, it was a little less creamy looking.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, that's the recipe they had off of liquor.com there. There's another one
That's
here
where
on
she was
the
from.
Spruce Eats has another one, and let's see what they say. 3/4 cream the Nial liquor that I mentioned, 3 ounce, same thing, same recipe. And this is the one they actually had there. Let me see here. And go back. Share screen. So this was another site, and it's the same recipe they actually had. That looks like strawberry
It
quick
looks
right
creamy
there.
too.
I mean,
Yeah,
look, kind of looks the same though.
Yeah, it looks the
yeah.
same, but less like
Eh,
froth
And
on
and
top.
that's frost, but they got the same recipe in play.
Different angle of the camera, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is a low ABV kind of drink because it's just dealing with liqueurs as well. So you're not getting a
That's why
heavy.
he was able to have so many of them.
True. Very true.
He was having a good old time.
Oh yeah, it was college. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, he thought it was like the 1920 Roaring 20s again, probably. He's out there dancing up a jig.
I know.
Yeah.
I have one of my bartenders right now trying to do a drink that has raw egg, like the egg white, and I'm like, sweetie, I don't know if we really have the capacity to handle doing the egg white drinks right now. And she's like, I know, but I want to compete with this one because we do competitions for our bartenders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but if you win, we have to do raw egg white drinks for 3 straight months until yours is not winner anymore.
3 months?
I'm a little concerned about doing, well, yeah. So every 3 months we have a cocktail competition where our bartenders compete for the top 3 cocktails, and those top 3 cocktails go on the menu. And it's cute and all, and it's really nice. So the winner, the number 1 winner, gets a $100 bill, and they're the top cocktail on the menu.
Yeah.
And we have 3 cocktails that switch out every 3 months based on, what our bartenders come up with. It's fun, and it's good for the staff because they're having a good time and like trying to improve their craft, and it's good for them, right? I like that. But doing one with egg white scares me a little bit because I'm worried that all of my bartenders are not going to be as careful with the egg white and, how long it's in the fridge and when it has to come out and how often it gets ordered. Because if it's not getting ordered that often, that egg white is probably bad and you need to. So I'm a little concerned about one of my staff doing an egg white cocktail because I'm like, oh, sweetie, please don't. I don't want to deal with the dating on that. Like, just the whole, it's a lot.
What if you use like the carton with egg whites only, like the carton?
Well, that's what she was using. That's what she used for the initial thing. But again, in order to have those things, you have to realize we're a tiny brewery, we're mom and pop.
Yeah.
When my bartenders say, "Hey, I want pomegranate juice," or "Hey, I want gherkin dills for the thing," I have to go to the store and get those things. And so there's a part of me that's kind of like, no, let's keep it simple, please. So I don't have to go to the store every 3 days to pick up the ingredients for a cocktail.
I feel like those egg whites in a box last forever, though, don't they? Or no?
Until you open them, but once you open them, they're fucked.
So
once they're opened, it's a problem. So there's a part of me as a manager that's like, God, I don't want to go to the grocery store every 3 days. I really don't want to go to the grocery store every 3 days.
And it
Please
becomes
don't make me
costly
do
if you don't
this.
sell enough of them, or buy more of the whites than what you're selling. I
know. I know the value of what she's trying to do. I also know that I don't want to go to the store 3 times a week for her.
Right.
As terrible as that sounds as a manager, I really don't want to go to the store 3 times a week.
Saying, like, cost effective probably makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Chew, here's another variation.
Ooh.
Oh, this looks different. So this is the pink swirl.
That does look different.
So this is the third of the creme de nil, also now called the creme de almond, or almond, if you prefer.
Almond.
You still got the third cup of creme de cow plus extra for rim in the glasses if you desire.
Well, it looks like it has vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, this one has a 2/3 cup of vanilla ice cream, and you could do the maraschino maraschino cherries.
Maraschino.
Knows, yeah.
Maraschino.
And if you're feeling spicy, colored sugar or sparkles, which in the Northeast we call jimmies or sprinkles rather, not sparkles.
Hercules.
For women.
No. They have sparkles. They have glitter dust that you can do.
Well, glitter dust could be a variant as well. There you go.
I know, but
So
you can have glitter dust that is just accoutrement. It's not like
accoutrement.
affecting
I like
the flavor,
that.
but you
There
can have
go.
glitter dust that's
Dance.
edible that doesn't
Yeah.
affect the flavor now.
So and that gives you a look at this. So this one doesn't have the what you call them as a garnish. What were you looking at earlier? The
Well, we use the Luxardo cherries.
Well, we had something else on the garnish before. Gotta go back here. This one had the
Nutmeg, whatever was on the
nutmeg.
sprinkle
Yeah,
on top.
it had nutmeg. It had nutmeg. So that one that we were just looking at has no nutmeg. But it does have the ice cream, which the ice cream does seem pretty tasty as well. Put in
Yeah.
there. So that's another opportunity with it that you can do. What is this one here? This is on Reddit. Pink Squirrel. They got a video. They're going to watch the video. But anyway, there's different variants of it that are out there.
Yep.
How about flowers? Drinks served with flowers. I mean, you can do flower stuff as garnishes on things. I've seen that before too. Just watch a guy dump a raw egg into a twisted tea and down it. What the heck is that called? Did I miss something?
Well, it's called
Right before I
that
jumped
whole,
out.
if you drink raw eggs, you're healthier or more muscular or whatever.
Or a dummy.
It's called ridiculous, is what it's
Yeah.
called.
Or dumbass.
I think if I saw a video that a guy did that, I'd be asking,
Holy
Why?
Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
that would be my question. Like, as to a guy doing
Honestly,
that
a
there.
whole raw egg
Are
does
you
not need to go into your
scared or
cocktail.
yeah?
Unless you're Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, you don't need to be having, 12 dozen non-cooked eggs each day.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, eggs can last a while if they're doing the individual cartons. Yeah. I think if you get just the egg white though, once you open it, it might be
I
against the
apologize
pot.
to all of our Disney fans. That was 5 dozen eggs.
Oh,
He
he
did not
said
do
third
12.
looks more like it. He likes
I
ice cream.
said 12. I apologize. It's 5 dozen eggs. So he's roughly the size of a barge. I remembered the song lyrics after I said 12. I apologize to any Disney fans who are out there who would call me out on that.
Who the hell's roughly the size of a barge?
Gaston.
That's a big guy.
You're right.
I mean, barges aren't small. I'm just saying.
Well, he said it in his song. He's roughly the size of a barge because now that he does 5 dozen eggs. So, yeah.
Well, it looks like for Chew, the third time might have been a charm. He said the third looks more like it. And he does love ice cream. But Chew, there's an opportunity this weekend to make some drinks.
I know.
Thank you.
Chu has to test this out and see if he can recreate the pink
Yeah.
squirrel that he used to know.
Yeah, Arnold and Sylvester Stallone, right, doing the raw eggs there. Yeah.
Did Arnold Schwarzenegger do raw eggs?
When he
that
left
was
the
a
weight.
thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was Mr. Olympia. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the
Oh.
70s and 80s. Yeah.
And Mel have to let
Better
us know.
roll with IPAs.
Agreed.
Yes, yes.
He had a 6-pack, but he could have done better with a keg. So I'm just saying. Well, I think we're going to wrap up, right? Are we wrapping up now? Because
Yes,
we're like
yes.
the midnight hour, and
Yes.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
it wasn't me.
11 o'clock.
I stopped drinking a little bit ago, but some people wanted to keep on drinking. So
It's 4 minutes to 11 o'clock. Just
that
saying.
wasn't on
Or
me.
midnight, whichever you want to.
No, 11 o'clock.
Or
So we got to
11
wrap up before the rising sun comes in the morning. We got to get our sleep in. But thank you for everybody that tuned in. A great time as always. Every Thursday night, we actually do this. We have fun. We drink some beer. We have a good time. And
it is.
so
but
glad.
it,
Yeah. So glad that everybody tuned in. Because if you didn't know,
No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer. No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
Yeah. So there. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and
those
get
early
wrapped
drinks.
up. Thank you, Aubrey, my friend. Always great to have you
Who
on
said?
as well. See you next time, Chu said as well. Cheers, buddy. Great to see everybody. I'll have some new reviews coming up next week. So the new run out that I'm doing this year, Monday through Wednesday, I'm going to be releasing beer reviews or beer news videos. Thursday night, we'll have the live stream. Friday, I'm not going to probably do something unless I feel anxious. I'm going to get something out there, but kind of Monday through Thursday will be the main thing. I just got to find time to cut things out because I have stuff here and I have stuff
Every
on
day
the
that sort of ends in Y, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. But I got to do stuff on the reaction channel more this year that I'm doing. So it's kind of just balance and stuff. But Monday through Thursday, there'll always be something happening right here. And thank you for everybody that tuned in. Always great to have you guys here. Make sure you check out Mal over in Perfectly Me Crafts. Although most of her stuff now is when she's here with me.
Actually, you know
Me
what?
too. Don't feel bad now.
February is going to be our starting date again.
You what?
February,
Said
we're
it?
getting going again.
But there you go. So make
He and I have already been talking about like what's coming out in February. So we took 1 year off to deal with our life things, and life things happen. It's fine, but yeah, February is going to be our getting going again situation. So
And-
I'm very excited about it. It's going to be fun.
I'll save everybody the chance of like looking up. My thing is Rod's thing your Thursday, so you know February, whatever, March, April, May is Rod's, so you know.
yeah.
Save
So
you some time. Save you some time.
Make sure to check out Mal. Make sure to check out Todd with me here on Thursday nights. And make sure to check out the channel. You know why?
I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
So I'm just letting you know. That's why you want to tune in. That being said, we are out. We look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Make sure you check out the other videos. Y'all have a great, fantastic weekend, and we'll see you then. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.